Hello, how is everyone doing tonight? Playing a game that I've been meaning to play for a while now. The Life and Suffering of Sir Bronte. Ignore that it says continue. I just started a playthrough and mashed through it for a few minutes to make sure it was working. If you're not familiar with the game, it's basically just like sort of a choose your own adventure story. Not a lot of actual gameplay. But I thought it might be fun just to read through it on stream. Just a chill stream. Maybe you can listen to it as you fall asleep or something. I don't know. You can do whatever you want. Sir Blank Bronte. What do we want to do for the name? I don't feel like being creative. We'll just go with Sir Lila Bronte. Chapter restarts. You will be able to rewind to the beginning of any chapter you've completed and continue from that point. Yeah, sure. And the consequences, you'll see the consequences of your possible choices in advance. This is the recommended game mode, as you'll be able to direct the character's fate in any way you want. Yeah, sure, I'll play on baby mode for now. That's fine. You hold the fate of a single man in your hands. You will follow his life from birth to death. Your choices shall define who Sir Bronte will grow up to be. You will decide his personality, social status, and what mark he'll leave on history. With every step he takes at your behest, Sir Bronte's character will change and evolve. Your decisions will close some doors for him, but open many others. The world of Sir Bronte's birth is a ruthless realm, where people are divided into estates. It is hard to be a hero here. Be ready to accept that Sir Bronte cannot overcome every challenge in his path. Every hard choice will test his character and personal qualities. Often you will not be able to make the choice you would like to. It may happen because you chose a different road earlier, exhausted your hero's willpower, or haven't earned the right position in society. Every victory will be a struggle, path paved with bitter losses and gut-wrenching failures. Accept the tragedy. This is how you will create a gripping and unique tale for your hero. What will become of your Sir Bronte, his loved ones, and his world? It all depends on you. Okay, here we go.
The story of my life remains written on these pages.
So I think the cutscenes are voiced, but most of the game is not. So I will just let the cutscenes play.
Every deed, every choice, every person I met made me what I am. Could I have taken a different path? Could I have found a different calling? Altered the very course of history? And what price would I have to pay?
The life and suffering of Sir Bronte in times of fall of the blessed Arcanian Empire. The end of time. Your fingers are stained with ink. Your breathing grows ragged. Your hands are shaking. Yet the words begin appearing on the page before you, one by one, clinging together to form a chronicle of your own life. Who are you? And how did you reach this end? You were born, raised, and lived your entire life in the blessed Arcanian Empire. In this land, a man's destiny is predetermined at the moment of his birth. Whether human or Arcanian, nobleman, priest, or low-born commoner, all bend the divine will of the twin gods, and each life is naught but a single cog in the universe's immeasurable machine. The memories come flooding back. They engulf you as a merciless wave, binding together days that are thrice dead and gone. The dreams of your childhood, your adolescence, your youth spent in the capital, years of peace teeming with life and a war drenched in blood, high ranks and lowly deeds, opulent palaces, secretive city backstreets, fields of battle, and faces, so many faces of the people you held dear, the people who walked this road by your side. Such was your life, now all exposed by ink erupting onto the page. With your every step, you sought to change the world as you saw fit. The choices of your upbringing, the path you carved in your youth, the fruits of your struggle, the consequences of your sacrifice, all of it led you here, to the end of your time. And every choice had a price. Now, years and years later, the crossroads of your life echo in your memory, the pain and joy inextricably intermingled. Could you have taken a different path, chosen a different calling, found a different place in the world? You had the power to alter the very course of history. Now, on the verge of death, you struggle with doubt, seeking answers to the last and most crucial question of all. Your life. Of all the paths in life, why did you walk this one? Did you choose your own fate, or was your life shaped by forces beyond your control? What determines a man's destiny? I personally think it mostly has to do with the world around you. Your final hours in this world are upon you. You close your eyes. In your mind's eye, you see them once more. The faces of your family, your friends, your foes, your underlings, your rulers. One after another, you recall the events that changed you forever. And in that moment, you know the truth. You are a part of this world. You are its flesh and blood. Your family, your hometown, your empire, they all made you what you are. Your destiny was the sum total of your upbringing, your social status, other people's choices, and the age in which you lived. But are you right about this? Is it all true? To learn the truth, you'll have to return to the very beginning, remembering every step you took along the way. On these pages, the story of a person named Lila Bronte will live once more. Chapter 1: Childhood. Childhood, where life begins. First words, first unsteady steps. You were but a small child learning about the world in which you were born. To you, everything is so new, so baffling, and so unforgiving. A long, trying life stretches before you. So many feats and faults, so many fateful choices to come. Yet you are already sowing the seeds of your future self. You are learning to live and survive in this world, looking for a place within it to call your own, choosing your future destiny. Who will you grow up to be? Prologue. Growing up. In chapters Childhood, Adolescence, and Youth, you will live through your hero's coming of age. You will shape the protagonist's personality, his qualities, and relationships. By the end of Prologue, you will determine the estate and future occupation of your hero. Only in adulthood will he start to influence the world around him, and even the ultimate fate of the Empire. Who will Lila Bronte grow up to be? It's your call. Events in the personal life of the hero that can happen in this chapter. Fencing lesson, beyond an epiphany, and nobleman's sacrament. Personal qualities in this age may determine what choices you may take. Determination, 0. Perception, 0. Willpower, 0. Deaths, untouched by death. Destiny screen is now available. Personality screen is now available. House of Bronte screen is now available, and family screen is now available. Begin chapter. First, there is nothing. No time, no sensation. Nothing but darkness and void. But then, A will breathed life into nothingness. Matter and spirit were set in motion. History began its march. It was your turn to enter this world. Your first memory, you were lying on your back, blinded by a bright white light. You were not alone. Above you tower the colossal figures of those who created you. You are a part of them, and they are a part of you. Between you and them is an inexplicable connection, a strong, unbreakable link. They will always watch over you, guard you, and protect you. It hurts to breathe. You let out the pain in the form of a desperate scream. Your creators extend their hands towards you. There are two of them, the ones who made your form from their own selves and brought you into this world. They are united, yet as they lean closer, you begin to see how different they are. You can already feel their differences within you, struggling against each other. The first figure is soft and empathetic, wise and merciful. The love that emanates from it wraps you head to toe like an invisible blanket. The warmth from it is never ending. The second figure is strong and powerful, commanding and noble. It is harsh but fair, a beacon of guidance, a force of protection, and merciless punishment for every misdeed. Yet there is also a third figure. It is like a shadow, barely seen behind them, yet already pulsing with an unbreakable will to live. It is the very will to live that is now growing ever stronger within you. A soft open palm, a strong closed fist, a lingering distant shadow. You struggle to loosen the swaddling clothes wrapped around you and extend a tiny hand into the world. Reach out to the palm, reach out to the fist, or smile at the shadow. +1 perception, +1 determination, or +10 willpower. Let's smile at the shadow. You know, I kind of don't like being able to see the consequences. Can I turn that off? Yeah. Let's do that. I'd rather just go off the roleplay rather than the stats I know I'm going to gain. But that being said, I would like to smile at the shadow. I am a sucker for edgy nonsense after all. The first smile appears on your face, awkward yet genuine. Your mother and father exchange looks and start talking. You know no words yet, so all you hear is a sequence of booming sounds. But the stranger behind them has no need for words. The stranger's look is all it takes for you to feel the will to live, an act that now burns within you. The shadow brings a finger to its lips as if to say, there, baby, don't cry. This is our secret now. And then the shadow melts into the light. +10 willpower, we are full of power. Year 1118. Your life in this world begins. How will you live it? As the days go by, you learn to tell your parents apart. You recognize father by his heavy breath and strong, cold hands. He visits you rarely. Hello there, Lila Bronte. Mother's tender voice, however, follows you day and night. My, you're growing so quickly, my child. There are 2 more children in the family named Stephen and Gloria. Gloria sings songs to you. She often dresses you in tight clothing and gently holds your hands as you learn to take your first steps. Stephen likes to sweep you up and pinch you and toss you into the air. Oh, look, this is your brother and sister. Yeah, you're my little brother. We're gonna play together, but I'll always be in charge. You see, we're born a commoner. Be quiet, you. He doesn't understand yet. Come on, baby Lila. Let's go play in the yard. It is hot outside. You grip your brother's hand with one hand and your sister's with another to help you walk down the giant stone stairs. Then you sit on the ground and start exploring the sparse blades of grass with your fingers. It tickles. In the sky far above and away from you is a gigantic pillar, a perfectly straight stick made of light. It is so bright it hurts to look at. Staring at the shining pillar. It's not going anywhere, you know. Hey, I want to play hide and seek. He's just a little baby. How's he gonna play? Then you hide him, and I'll try and find both of you. I don't know why I decided to do this voice for the brother. But I'm gonna stick with it. You have no idea what they are talking about, but you support them with happy cooing. This is strange, but so exciting. Stephen and Gloria glance at each other, then your brother walks to a big tree, closes his eyes, and starts shouting something. Gloria takes your hand and walks you through the yard. Your sister takes you behind some thick bushes by a tall wall. The light from that light stick on the horizon barely reaches here. You can't see home from this place. The ground is crawling with tiny black bugs. Gloria sits you down on the ground and puts a finger to her mouth for some reason, and then she's gone. You no longer hear Stephen's voice. Gloria is nowhere to be seen. You feel colder. The bugs are no fun to play with. You've been sitting here for a long time, completely alone. Nobody checks on you. Did they forget about you? Did they abandon you? We can cry loudly. We can find our way home. Or we can sit there and wait. Let's wait a little bit. Bush is covered with leaves swaying in the wind. You push through them with your fingers. The twigs and branches are stiff and will not bend. They're different from the blades of grass. Down on the grass you see a group of bugs carrying a little twig. You grab it from them. They're so funny. One of the bugs crawls on your finger and bites it, just enough to sting a little. Hello, I'm a soldier. Welcome. So cozy. Thank you. You hear brisk steps, then the leaves and twigs are rustling and parting. Your mother leans over you. You greet her with a happy face and show her the finger with the bug on it. So that's where they took you. Mother picks you up and puts you to her chest and pats you on the head. Your brother and sister stand behind her, clearly feeling guilty. Gloria is in tears. Stephen keeps staring at his feet. You hug Mother tightly. She's here now. +1 perception. Year 1120, 2 years old. Another memory. You're still a child, but you can already talk and run around on your own. Today is out of the ordinary. Mother is busy around the house giving orders to the servants. Throughout the day, the kitchen has been abuzz with work, and there are some solemn, gloomy preparations and candles being lit. Even your older brother Stephen is quiet today. Mother takes your hand and brings you to your sister Gloria. My son, today is the Great Descent. We honor the day when the twin gods descended to us. You must spend this day in reverence to the gods. You are too young to understand, so just do everything your sister says for now. Gloria takes you to the playroom. There are no toys there, no chairs. Even the carpet has been taken away. There's nothing there but a bare wooden floor. Today we're not allowed to go to any other rooms. We'll be eating nothing but gruel and stale bread. On the day of the Great Descent, everyone must be where they belong. It's quiet. Unusually so. Muffled voices from beyond the door are all you can hear. You are sitting on the cold floor, confused with no idea what to do. Then you hear your sister's voice. A lonely sound in the empty room. It is a little song that Mother taught her. You hold your breath as you listen to it. When the twins came down to Earth, they brought lots for every birth. Let us count them. 1, 2, 3. The twins made them for you and me. Nobles rule bravely and fight. They protect us with their might. Priests work hard to understand, guide us by the twins' commands. Common people work and toil, always patient, never spoiled. Live your lot where you were born, to the day when you pass on. Know your lot and know the prayer, for the twins see everywhere. You were transfixed by the tune. Gloria notices your gaze and a smile creeps across her face. You like the rhyme, don't you, Lila? Do you know what it's all about? Look, there are 3 lots. They were brought to us by the twins when they descended to us from the shining pillar. Remember that pillar of light on the horizon? That's it. You can see the shining pillar any time, from anywhere in the world. If you follow your lot as you live, you'll reach the peak of the pillar, and if you don't, you'll get eternal torment at the foot. You and I are lowborn. Mom is a commoner too, so the lot for you and me is to suffer and be patient and work hard. Understand? The priests and nobles have other lots. The nobles fight and roll over everybody. The priests, well, I'm not really sure what they do, but I guess they talk to the twins and teach everybody. Gloria stares at you intently. Did you get it, silly? Then she shakes her head and keeps singing the song over and over again. Her voice transfixes you, drawing you in. The room starts to glow like the sky. From this light emerges 2 figures you have known ever since the moment of your birth. One of them embraces your sister's shoulder, the other stands guard behind her back. You watch this happening before your very eyes, unable to turn away. Gloria is swaying to the song, unaware of what is happening. She sings the final verses once more. Know your lot and know your prayer. You feel compelled by this divine sight to express yourself somehow. You feel words condensing within you from the light. But what will these words be? Can finish the song properly or sing the last line wrong. Hee 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 ha. Know your lot and know the prayer. The lots are lies told everywhere. You shout these words, but you have no idea how they came to you. The shining pair standing behind her back turn to look at you. You can feel their gaze piercing you from top to bottom. When the moment passes, they melt into the dim light coming from the window. Now Gloria is staring at you. You can see disappointment in her eyes. Paige looks like Spawn. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Lila, that's not the way the song ends. Why did you ruin it? You shrug, quite pleased with your cleverness. +1 determination. We partake in a little tomfoolery. Superhero? I see. I'm unfamiliar with that one. You're starting to understand more and more of what the adults say. Your family is an unusual one. Your father is a nobleman, but not by birth. His is a title earned through great service. But your mother is a low-born woman, a commoner. Because of this, you were born a commoner. Father says you may yet come into nobility. Uncultured? Shut up. You're uncultured. Have you played Draft Town? Yeah, that's what I thought. You learn to read at an early age. Together with a mother, you read and learn by heart the many poems about the divine twins, the twin gods who reside upon the shining pillar. Mother calls these poems prayers. Again and again, you try to discern the shapes of the gods in the strip of holy light that shines in the sky all day and night, but the light is too blinding to gaze upon. Didn't even respond. My bad. Did you play Draft Town? I kind of just assumed you haven't. Maybe you have. My bad if so. Let me take a sip of tea real quick. One moment. Some Irish breakfast with honey. Hopefully it'll keep my voice in tip-top shape. I've been meaning to actually get some throat coat tea for this, but I didn't. So instead, I have the usual Irish breakfast. The greatest joy of all is when the stairs are no longer an insurmountable obstacle. Now you can climb and jump from step to step. Father urges you to be more careful and avoid climbing too high. But even though you keep falling, you never stop being curious about the world around you. Throat coat with a C. Your older brother Stephen now spends less and less time playing with Gloria and you. Playing with commoners is beneath a nobleman to be, he says. So Gloria calls him names, and Stephen pulls her pigtails. One fine evening, Father gathers you all in the sitting room with an announcement. You will have another little brother or sister soon. Gloria asks him to bring home a little sister. Another brother would be too much. Stephen gets frustrated. There are too many little siblings getting in his way as it is. Soon you'll be an older brother too. It doesn't really matter who the youngest will be. A boy or a girl, you will love them the most. When Father comes back from his trips, he reads his adult books aloud for you. You find those stories of wars, generals, and rebellions quite enchanting, and Father approves of your fascination. Study hard, and maybe one day you'll become a noble of the mantle and earn your sword. But first, you need to grow up. Growing up, the concept is as terrifying as it is alluring. You keep staring at the carpet under your feet. You're both ashamed and proud, and it feels odd. A scratch on your hand stings a little. Stephen is standing next to you, sniffling from pain. Your brother was training in the yard with a wooden sword. You wanted to play with him, but he ended up getting angry and throwing the sword at you. The stick hit you in the shoulder. You picked it up and hit him with it. You see Mother Shoes walking to and fro on the carpet. You do not want to look up. You'd rather not see her angry. She is not as gentle to you these days. Why did you hurt Stephen, Lila? You stammer out an explanation, and he hit you first. You just hit him back. How dare he pester me like that? When I grow up, I'm gonna hit you with a real sword. Mother shushes you both and speaks to you again. Her voice is stern, and yet you can feel her concern for you. Even if Stephen hits you, you cannot hit him back. You are my son, and I was born a commoner. Our lot is to suffer, but your brother was born from a noble father and a noble mother. His sacrament is coming soon, and then he will rule over the likes of us. If you hurt a noble, you must be punished. That is your lot. The sooner you learn it, the better off our entire family will be. Now Stephen looks at you in triumph. You look up at Mother in fear, not sure what to do now. Can accept your punishment. Accept your guilt and tell Mother you are ready to be punished. Willpower 0. Willpower greater than 0. We're currently at 10. Ah, I see. Can deny your guilt, continue to insist that you are not guilty and will not be punished no matter what. Or demand an explanation. You demand that Mother explain why things are like this. I mean, it's not our mom's fault society is so fucked up. And I feel like just trying to deny it isn't going to do much good. I think we just take it. You look down and agree with what she said. You are ready to be punished. You start apologizing to Stephen, but he turns his back on you. Before you can finish, Mother takes your hand and leads you away. You do not want to follow her. Your hands are getting sweaty, your legs are growing heavy. And suddenly she stops and bends down closer to you, look you straight into your eyes. My son, I see you understand our lot now. We do not defy, we suffer. That is our only path to the twins after all their deaths. Our only way to reach eternal bliss atop the peak of the pillar. Our virtue is meekness. Humble in our words. We work hard. We think what is right. You've shown all of this. I'm so proud of you. She hugs you, and you finally release the pent-up tears. You feel much more at ease now. You're flogged in front of your entire family. Pain burns on your skin again and again, but you feel the touch of the divine law with each blow. Relations +1 with Stephen. I see. And our mother, status grateful. Willpower -5. Mother mostly stays in her chambers now. With each passing day, she grows heavier and her features get rounder. It gets more difficult for her to walk, but she still smiles all the time. One day she takes your hands and puts them on her big belly. You feel a movement deep inside her. You will have another brother or sister soon. Gloria takes you on walks to the yard now. You explore the yard together under the evening light of the pillar. She sings you songs and tells you amazing stories. Hey Lila, do you want to hear a rhyme? I wrote it myself. There's even a bit about you, but don't tell anyone, okay? Writing poems and songs is only for nobles. If Mommy hears about it, I'll get flogged. Remember how you got flogged for hitting Stephen? Our judge is my second father. In the past I had another. Mother says the twins are great, says we should not fight our fate. Brother loves to jump around. Please don't fall down on the ground. See, I wrote a little rhyme. Please don't tell them it's mine. But today, your sister is nowhere to be seen. She promised to take you to the old pond and show you the red frogs that lived there, but then she vanished. The servants join you in your search. Even Mother leaves her chambers when she hears the commotion. Finally, you find Gloria in the far corner of the garden. She is holding a quill and sheets of paper covered in poetry. Mother becomes angry the moment she sees it. She looks through the poetry and her face grows dark with rage. Gloria is standing before her, wringing her hands and looking for an opportunity to run, but there seems to be no escape. What is this nonsense, Gloria? We talked about this. You were told to take care of your little brother. You are absolutely not allowed to entertain yourself with this writing. I can decide that for myself, Mom. No, you cannot. It has already been decided by the gods. And he's not a little brother anymore. He doesn't need a nanny, and I need some time alone to think for myself. I'm not hurting anyone. You are a cobbler and a future wife. It's time you learned how to properly care for your children. Had your disgraceful former father kept me in this house, you could have been born a noble. But that is not our fate, and you are absolutely forbidden from ever spoiling paper and wasting ink again. He grabs Gloria firmly by the hand and takes you both into the house. The scribbled sheets fly into the fireplace. Gloria sobs violently. We're a bystander to this scene, unsure of how to act. We don't have the determination to complain about it, nor do we have the perception to offer to write rhymes with her. We can comfort her in exchange for willpower, or we can leave. I like our sister, I'll comfort her. She's nice. Mother leaves. The last of your sister's poetry burns away in the fireplace. You walk up to your crying sister and take her by the hand. None of this is her fault, you say. What Mother did is wrong and far too harsh. Gloria sniffles before speaking. But I did leave you all alone. You're not mad at me? Really? You nod in reassurance. Gloria embraces you. Lila, you're the best little brother in the world. The two of you make a little deal. She promises to tell you when she wants to be alone, and you promise to protect her and her secrets always. +1 relations, status grateful. -5 willpower, we're down to 0. Four years old. Winter, the coming sacrament. Mother's in her armchair, knitting woolen jackets, pants, and socks for the little one. The baby will need to be kept warm, she says. Father spends less time at home now. Mother says he's very busy with his important job. He is a judge, after all. One day, you decide to ask Mother about Stephen and Gloria. How come they're brother and sister to you, but not siblings to each other? Well, my dear, I didn't give birth to Stephen, you see. He's the son of another mother, and Gloria is the daughter of another father. Come now, don't knit your brow like that. You'll understand when you're older. How's that even possible? You're all family, are you not? Several days later, Mother calls Stephen and Gloria to the sitting room. You sneak in after them. At first, Mother gets angry and asks you to leave, but then she relents. You were told to sit still, be quiet, and remember every word you hear. When you enter the temple, bow to the twins. First the elder on the right, and then to the younger on the left. Stephen, you're a nobleman to be, so walk along the side paved with marble where the benches are. Gloria, you walk along the sharp side. When you're there, you must get down on your knees, each of you on your own side. Stephen, kiss the sword. Gloria, my daughter, they will strike you with the lash. Don't be afraid of it. Resign yourself to the suffering it brings. It is the blessing of your lot. Gloria doesn't like the idea of the lash. There's a tense feeling in your chest as well. You were told to remember this. Will the lash strike you too one day? On the next day, when they take your brother and sister to the temple, you run towards them when they finally come back. The back of Gloria's dress is soaked with blood. She's hunched a bit, sobbing quietly. Stephen is putting on airs, acting prouder than ever. Nothing else looks different about them. It's like all is the same, and yet everything has changed. Each of them has accepted their lot. -1 relations with Stephen. -1 unity. Represents how close and trusting your family is. Interesting. Siblings Stephen and Gloria took the first sacrament at the temple. You eye a little bundle in your father's arms with curiosity. Behind the many layers of swaddling clothes is your newborn baby brother. Mother is glowing and smiling with joy. Stephen and Gloria are also here, all excited. You promise yourself you're going to be the best big brother in the world. You'll never hit him, oh no. The two of you will play together and tease Stephen together, and help Mother together, and go on so many adventures together. It feels so strange to be an older brother. Just the other day you were the youngest in the family, but everything is different now. Your parents name your little brother Nathan, and Mother spends day and night by his side. And Nathan cries all the time, day and night. Mother barely gets any sleep. She's so worn out she starts forgetting things. Like today, for instance, she forgot her knitting in the armchair in the sitting room. You'd better bring it back to her as soon as possible. You run to Mother's bedroom. You miss her smile so much. You walk in without saying hello and give her the knitting. But instead of gratitude, you get an ice-cold, exhausted stare. Nathan is also there, screaming all the time. Go away, Lila, you're bothering me. She spits these words out through her teeth. You look at the bawling newborn. She can't even get a minute of respite. Enough already. When are you going to stop? I just want some peace and quiet. Mother leaps across the room and starts shaking Nathan with malice in her eyes. His cries get even louder. She looks so tired from this never-ending screams. She seems to be within an inch of smashing him against the wall. Somebody has to do something. You are scared of your mother right now, but you fear for Nathan's life much more. You can call Father for help or redirect her anger to yourself. Snatch Nathan away from Mother in exchange for willpower. Or hug her. Let's hug her. You walk up to Mother quickly and lock her tightly in an embrace. Your arms are too short, and the folds of her dress get in the way. That does not stop you. She shudders at your unexpected touch and tries to free herself. Let me go! Stop tormenting me! But you only latch onto her even tighter. There's no way you're letting her go now, not even if she screams at you or hits you. No way. You are here now. You will protect her and comfort her. Nathan stops screaming, and an odd sobbing sound escapes his little baby mouth, as if he's too tired to scream. Mother accepts your sudden presence now. You feel her relax, and her movements become calmer. There's still no way you're letting go. Not yet. Then you hear a quiet song. Your mother's song. She's singing a lullaby to Nathan. He squeaks a little, and then starts snoring quietly. But you calm down as well. Mother's now calmer in your embrace. Nathan's breathing quietly in his sleep. Now please let me go, my dear. I have to put Nathan to bed. Release Mother, and she puts Nathan back in the crib. After a little pause, she turns to you. Her face is still weary, but there's no sign of anger. She sits down next to you. Thank you, my son. The twins know I didn't want to hurt you or Nathan. I'm so sorry. Please don't be angry with me. You did what you needed to do. You gave me the strength to work through this. She hugs you tightly. You do the same and press your forehead against her. She smells like home. Your tears finally start to flow. They're tears of happiness now. She pats you on the head and kisses your forehead. Nathan is sleeping quietly in his crib. It feels so good when things are as they should be. +1 relationship with Mother, and +1 unity in the family. Year 11-12, your younger brother Nathan is born. "5 years old. You wake up to Father's touch on your shoulder. He's finally back after a long trip. Lila, today is your special day. The day when you begin your studies. Now, teachers will be coming to your home to teach you, and you must do everything they say. Be diligent in your studies, and you will grow closer to the nobleman's lot. And since you must remember this day, a present is in order. Lydia, get our little schoolboy dressed. I am taking him to the market district. Stephen wants to come with you too, but your father shushes him sternly. This is your day. Your elder brother is hurt to hear this, but stays quiet. An open carriage takes the two of you through the dusty, noisy city streets. A pleasant wind tussling your hair. Your city is called Anzizot. That you already know. It is one of the largest cities in the entire empire. There's a big shadow on the street. It comes from the white foliage of an enormous tree that spreads its branches all above the city. My son, did you know that the silver tree grew from the blood of our God's own disciples? It has been growing here for hundreds of years, right in our city. It cannot be damaged or burned. Not even the clergy know why. The carriage comes to a halt by a small shop next to a city square. You run there and freeze by the stalls in excitement. The shop is packed with dolls and figurines and toys. You've never seen so many at once before. Have you chosen your present yet? Father asks. You have. You want the Holy Order set, which includes several figurines of the Empire's greatest warriors of all time. You rattle off everything you know about the Holy Order. They were the ones who aided the Emperor's own forces in seizing the province of Magra and storming our city. That's how he joined the Empire. Father nods in approval. Very well. War isn't your lot for now, but maybe these toy soldiers will teach you to think like a general. We'll lead them into battle and study military strategy. Go ahead, take your present. Having said this, Father turns away to examine the books. You run to the box of toy soldiers, delirious with excitement. But there's a fancy-dressed boy in your way. He is about to take your warriors for himself. He elbows you aside and reaches for the box. Anger overcomes you, and you push him from behind. Your opponent falls to the floor. The rich boy screams so loudly, everybody in the shop hears it. He hit me! He hit me! A tall tower of a man looms over you. This is the boy's father. But then you feel your own father's hands on your shoulders. What's happened? You press against father, your mind more at ease now. He'll protect you. Yes, he shoved the boy to the floor in front of everyone, but he tried to take your present for himself. Father turns you around to face him when he hears these words. Is this true, Lila? Did you strike the son of a nobleman? Can deny our guilt. We can tell him the truth. Or we can admit our guilt in exchange for willpower. I'll tell him the truth. It isn't fair to blame you without letting you speak too. You didn't want to shove that stupid boy. He was the one who shoved you first. But the angry nobleman, the boy's father, will not let you finish. Nobody cares cares a whit for your so-called truth, little lowborn. The law is the law, and your punishment is due. Your father nods in agreement to those words, no matter how sad they may make him. They lead you and the nobleman's son out of the shop. You are told to bow to him and show humility. A bad feeling sends a shiver down your spine. With a satisfied grin on his face, the boy swings his arm and slaps you on the cheek. He strikes you again and again. Enough. He got what he deserved. We're leaving. Get out of our way. What the hell? It's so dark. Yeah, I mean, were you expecting a game called The Life and Suffering of Sir Bronte to be about a happy life? Your head is swimming from the heavy blows. You return to your senses back in your bed, with servants treating your face. Father stays by your side all day. The morning after, you find a little box in your bed with the tin soldiers of the Holy Order inside. You paid dearly for your stubbornness. +1 determination. Year 1124, summer. Family dinner. Today, Father ordered the dinner table to be brought out into the yard. For the first time in months, he's home, outside of the confines of his always locked study. He spent the entire day playing with Nathan and you, discussing various matters with Stephen, now an adolescent, and walking in the garden. And now a dinner under the open sky. Your entire family gathers together, with Father at the head of the table smiling. He asks each of you about your studies. Nathan climbs up on his knees and recites a counting rhyme in a funny, sing-song voice. Stephen mentions that his fencing teacher praised his accomplishments. He rises from the table together with Father to show his skill in a practice duel. Next comes Gloria's turn. She stands in her chair and recites a lengthy prayer by heart. Mother showers your sister with praise. Father chuckles quietly, hiding a smile on his mustache. When your turn comes, you recite all the ranks in the Legion, from common soldier to high commander. Stephen listens to you with a skeptical look on his face. Night slowly falls, but the servants ensure that the yard is well illuminated. You don't feel cold in the dusk tonight. It feels good, yet so important. All of you are finally together, sitting at the same table. No fighting, just smiles. No arguing, just pleasant small talk. Then a servant approaches Father with a letter in his hand. He reads it in the dim light, and each line gradually washes the smile off Father's face until only a stone-cold mask remains. Mother looks at Father with an unspoken question in her eyes. Gregor Bronte is coming back to Anizot. He is the head of our family. My father. Grandfather, Gregor Bronte, returned to the family home from the capital. Ever since the news of grandfather's impending arrival, there's not been a single day when the house has not been cleaned or decorated. The Your parents anxiously make sure everything is in order. They tell you to wash your face and hands after walks and scold you for leaving books on the floor. They tell Gloria she will be flogged if she is ever seen hiding in the attic. They make Stephen stay in his room. Even baby Nathan gets in trouble. Everyone is on edge. Then one day, Grandfather arrives. It is a grim day, so hot your neck is sticky with sweat. Father, Mother, Stephen, Gloria, Hugh, and Nathan, the entire Bronte family stands on the porch in front of the house. The house servants lined up behind you. The carriage arrives, and out steps a tall, gaunt old man with a heavy walking stick and a heavier gaze. You cringe instinctively. Good health to you, Father. Children, greet your grandfather as you have been taught. Still trying to look like a real nobleman, are you? You can't fool me, Robert. I was the first of the Bronte family to be ennobled by the mantle, and I am the only one who remembers how to bear this burden properly. I live honorably by my lot. Your marriage to that low-born wench cut us off from ever becoming nobles of the sword. My progeny could have been born bearing noble blood. Father, I beg you, this is not the place. Grandfather eyes him with scorn and walks into the house, the entire family following close behind him. I have been away far too long. The entire house is a mess. This is an insult. How can you live in such pigsty, Robert? The servants have grown far too lazy, all thanks to your commoner of a wife. I warned you, did I not? And yet you did as you saw fit. And the children, what do they know of traditional honor? They are being raised in a virtuous family, Father. Now you're speaking like a lowborn who's content to live in humility. Twins wailing, now that I'm here, this will not happen again. I'm taking your oldest son to the capital. I see you cannot provide Stephen with a proper education, so I will correct your mistake. Your brother's fate has been decided just like that. Father does not object. He orders the servants to prepare Stephen for the journey. Stephen freezes in place, glancing at grandfather and father again and again. The latter puts a hand on his shoulder reassuringly. Grandfather's lips are a tight line, white with contempt. The house is examined, room after room. Everything grandfather sees is showered with scorn. He scoffs at a crease in a blanket in Nathan's crib in Mother's bedroom. He mocks Gloria's knitting in her room. The door to your room is next. What is this, Robert? 10 soldiers in your younger son's room? He was born a commoner. I won't have him daydreaming of battle. Grandfather seizes the box containing the 10 warriors of the Holy Order. Your father stays silent. Anger and fear boil within you. This is your big present from the first day of your studies. It means so much to you. But what if he's right? What if you need to prove your right to command the toy soldiers first? Grandfather shakes his head in disapproval and shoves your toy box into the roaring fireplace. If you wait too long, they'll melt in the flames. We don't have the perception to watch them melt helplessly, nor do we have the determination to rescue them. We can burst into tears, or we can beat his ass. Burst into tears. I can't see kicking him going well. I feel like he's gonna have us taken out back if we do that. You watch your beloved present, the token of your father's love and care, burn before your very eyes. The tin melts. The unpleasant smell of burning paint fills the air. For a moment you cannot breathe, and you see no reason to maintain your composure. The tears start flowing, burning your cheeks and staining your shirt. You hide your face in your hands, and then you hear grandfather's voice dripping with disdain. So the boy's a weakling, just like his mother. Relations -1. Willpower -5. What an asshole. I should have kicked him. Soon, grandfather leaves. Your elder brother Stephen goes with him. That day on, father's hired teachers tend to you alone. They bore you with monotonous lectures on writing, counting, and the way of life in the blessed Archean Empire. You often distract yourself from their instruction by playing with your younger brother Nathan. Your home grows quiet without your elder brother. Too quiet. Weeks later, your family receives a letter from Stephen. Grandfather sent him to a boarding school for nobles, and he is now studying hard in preparation for his service as a nobleman. The rules here are way too strict. You can't even sneeze without the teacher's permission. But I've been studying with my peers. We're learning how to live as nobles in a noble society. We're also learning the art of swordplay. That's my favorite part. With Stephen now at the boarding school, grandfather arrives once more, this time to leave in your home. The only good thing is that he often has urgent business in Eterna, the capital of the Empire, and has to travel there. One day you ask Mother where he lived before. In Eterna, she says, but now his place is here. Each time grandfather returns, he gives the servants new orders. Your home is now always busy with repairs. The servants are redecorating grandfather's chambers, including his library and sitting room. Sometimes father tries to gently talk him out of this. Why subject the house to constant reconstruction? Grandfather's answer is always the same. This home is mine, and I will live as befits a man of the nobility. An illustrious guest. Some days grandfather stays home, and on those days you try your best to stay out of his sight. There's no way you can avoid family breakfasts. The food is there, but you cannot bring yourself to eat it. Mother's eyes are red and swollen. She's been crying all night again. Grandfather sits at the head of the table, where nobody used to sit before. Robert, it is high time your youngest sons underwent their sacraments. Sir Bronte, please, let them live free of the lot for a while longer. They're but... Shut your mouth. Robert, that wife of yours is impertinent enough to interrupt me. If this ever happens again, she'll be eating her gruel with the servants in the kitchen where she belongs. And it's time you consider a real marriage, Robert. One to a woman of proper station. Gloria drops her fork. Grandfather shoots her a scathing look. A tear rolls down Mother's cheek. Father does not look away from the plate, his hands clenched into fists. Baroness Alodor is one such woman. She is a comely widow and a fine match. She is suing for her inheritance right now and could use proper support and a husband. You can keep your lowborn Lydia around if you like. Servant, mistress, I don't care. I will not do that, Father. I am the head of this family, and the family standing took a severe blow after you married that commoner. It is unthinkable. How could you give up the memory of the beautiful Amelia Elborn for this lowly woman and that bastard of hers? But you don't have a chance to, but now you have a chance to set things right. Don't disappoint me. Father nods curtly, trying not to look in Mother's direction. Father, I wish to see Stephen. If I find your conduct in the Baroness's presence satisfactory enough, then you may see him. She is coming for a visit tomorrow. Be prepared. Grandfather wipes his mouth with his napkin and throws it onto his plate, and leaves. Mother's lips move silently. Nobody says a word. Then Father stands up and orders you and the other children back to your rooms. He needs to speak to Mother in private. Father comes to your room before bedtime. He sits on the edge of the bed and adjusts a crease in the woolen blanket. He distanced himself from you after Stephen's departure, so you're not used to such attention from him. In the candlelight, you can see his face in the dark. There's a sour expression on it. My son, Baroness Emma Elodor will be visiting us tomorrow. Please be polite and treat her with respect. Nathan will do as you do. I want this dinner to be as immaculate as possible. Don't let me down. On the next day, Mother starts dressing you and Nathan for the coming dinner. You see red all around her eyes. She's been crying for a long time. It hurts just to look at her. Nathan starts whining quietly. You and Nathan are dressed in new doublets, her tousled hair brushed into shape. Gloria is told to stay in her room. Father appears wearing his best suit. Mother is in a humble brown dress, looking pale. Grandfather has an uncharacteristically contented look about him. Hello, Larry. Welcome. What we be reading, gang? We're reading The Life and Suffering of Sir Bronte. I guess I can give a short summary of what's happened so far. So, basically, we were born, we started learning about the world, and basically there are three main lots you can have in life. You can be a commoner, you can be a nobleman, or you can be part of the clergy. Our father is a nobleman, but our mother is a commoner, so therefore we are a commoner unless we lock the fuck in and become a nobleman. This is a book game? Indeed. I thought it would be a nice, intimate way to spend Valentine's Day. I've just been meaning to try doing a stream like this for a while. See how it goes. Thought it could be fun. I'm enjoying it so far. I don't know if it'll make for good content or not. We'll see. This is the type of thing I would enjoy watching, though. And, the thing people always say is to make content that you yourself would enjoy. Hear the sound of wheels and hooves against the cobbles in the yard, and then a pair of dainty heels come clacking. The antechamber is completely quiet, and still, fearing grandfather's observant eye, the door opens. You see your guest, a beautiful dark-haired woman in the dress of elegant deep blue. Father takes the hand of Lady Elodar and kisses it, showering her in compliments. Grandfather's face is beaming in her presence. No one even bothers to introduce Mother. How can I make an agenda out of this if it's about reading a 0 out of 10 game? I mean, you can probably still make an agenda about this. You just have to stick around for a bit and learn the characters, Baroness, allow me to introduce you Robert's sons, Lila and Nathan Bronte. Frankly, it's his eldest, Stephen, who deserves the most attention, but currently he is studying in Eterna with the other young noblemen like himself. It is my hope that his younger sons will also make me proud one day. Grandfather eyes you with a probing look. How will you act in front of the Baroness? Will you accept her here, next to your mother, your father's rightful wife? Can greet her politely, walk away with Mother. We don't have the willpower to maintain our composure, nor do we have the perception to demand that Mother be introduced. And fuck this guy. Just walk away with Mom. We're on a mom build. You turn your back on the Baroness and walk to Mother. You walk upstairs to her room, hand in hand. Behind your backs, stunned silence reigns in the antechamber. Soon, the two of you are alone. A burden falls from Mother's shoulders. She embraces you. Together you wait until the dinner ends and the Baroness leaves. You didn't betray me. If only you could feel how grateful I am right now. The morning after, Father leaves for Eterna with Grandfather to visit Stephen. He returns from the capital in a quiet rage. You overhear your parents talking. Apparently Grandfather has already poisoned Stephen's mind against him, and he greeted Father with cold hostility. The name of Baroness Elodar is never mentioned in the house again. -1 relationship with Dad, +1 with Mom, -1 with Grandpa, -1 reputation, the honor of your family and your position in high society. Fix how nobility treats your family. Tarnished honor. Oh, and +1 perception. With a kaleidoscope. Father now checks on your studies often and nitpicks you for sitting or eating or speaking in an incorrect fashion. Once he becomes so annoyed, he says that he wishes Stephen had been the one to stay home instead of you. You never expected to hear those words from your father, of all people. Grandfather's trip to the capital took longer than expected. It feels lighter around the house without his presence. You allow yourself a little change of scenery. Instead of your room, you now busy yourself with the reading and calculations in the sitting room across from the open door to the yard. Gloria has joined you today. She has already helped you progress through several complex passages in the book. Right now, she seems preoccupied with a strange tube. Aren't you hurt by the way Grandfather treats you? Oh wait, no, that was me. Oops. You ask. Gloria just shrugs. Grandfather always says they should get rid of me. I'm used to it now. He hurts you a lot worse because you're closer to him. I just have to stay out of his way, that's it. She shows you the strange tube she's been holding all day. Look, it's a kaleidoscope. I got it as a gift. Want to see inside? Excited by the idea, you close the book and peer into the tiny hole on one end of the tube. Your eyes see a multitude of intricate patterns. Each turn of the tube reveals a new web of interwoven colors. They mesmerize you. The kaleidoscope turns the fire burning in the fireplace into a cavalry made of flames. You are riding at the front of the fiery horseman, ready to face the enemy. Grandfather's face emerges from the intersecting lines, and you swing the kaleidoscope like a sword, cutting it in half. Now you look at the blue sky through the window. The patterns are unending, secretive, and calm and peaceful. Just like Father's smile before Grandfather's invasion. The deep blue gives way to a scattering of gold radiating gentle warmth, like Mother's arms. This fleeting beauty too soon gives way to a hypnotic new pattern. Again and again you see your family in these interconnecting figures as they come together and break apart. And in the middle of this golden glow, you see glorious green eyes gazing at you observantly. Your sister left you long ago. The books are abandoned, and time slips away unchecked, but you're still busy peering into the kaleidoscope. Order emerges from the chaos before your eyes again and again, but you cannot preserve it no matter how you try. You're caught in an inner conflict. There's so much that can be done with this kaleidoscope. Should you take it apart, or ask Gloria how it works, or keep enjoying the patterns it shows you? But you still have lessons to do today. Well, we don't have the willpower to take it apart, and nor do we have the willpower to return to our studies. So, just keep doom scrolling. You continue peering into the ever-changing patterns the kaleidoscope offers you. It's become truly interesting when you point it at the shining pillar gleaming in the sky. In your mind's eye, one battle follows another, filling your ears with clanging steel and the neighing of horses. You are leading the Imperial Army now. Everybody is so proud of you. Grandfather says you're better than Stephen, and... Father's stern voice cuts your daydream short. You lost all track of time. It is evening now. How did you get your hands on this toy, Lila? Why aren't you studying? Give it to me. I'll have to double the lessons tomorrow. Less than willpower. Grandfather's visits are no longer a cause for fear and panic in the house. It has become something you are used to, something nagging, yet not unordinary, like a splinter or a stain on your trousers. Tension still remains, however. Sir Gregor's disdain for everyone in the house is so palpable it almost stings for real. I'm going to take another sip of tea. One a moment. Alright, tea sipped. The lessons with the tutor are done for today. You're walking down the stairs when you spot Gloria peeping into the sitting room through a slightly open door. You sneak up on your sister and tap her lightly on the shoulder. She's startled. Oh, it's you, Lila. Look, Sir Gregor's eating something. Grandfather is sitting on the sofa, flipping through a book with one hand and reaching for a glass bowl with another now and then. Inside the bowl, you see candied fruit, a sweet confectionery forbidden to the common estate, like all sweet things. Yet Grandfather's face shows no pleasure as he keeps consuming the high-born treats. The clock strikes 3. Grandfather rises from his seat, puts away the bowl on a shelf, and leaves for the yard. He always takes a walk in the city at this time. Gloria nudges you with her elbow and looks at the candy bowl when you look at her. The first emotion you feel is fear, but next comes curiosity, and it is stronger. Stephen used to boast that candied fruit tastes incredible, and now you have a perfect opportunity to try it. You try candied fruit first. The sugar starts to melt as soon as you put it on your tongue. It is so sweet. You've never eaten anything as good as this. You take the whole bowl off the shelf and give it to your sister. She takes a fruit and brings it to her mouth, carefully, like a rare treasure. There's a thumping on the stairs, footsteps accompanied by the knocking of a walking stick. You have no idea why, but Grandfather is back. You quickly hide behind the sofa and pull Gloria after you, but she's frozen in place with the bowl in her hands. The door opens. Grandfather's menacing figure advances on Gloria. His hand seizes her arm. You squalid, ungrateful, low-born child. How dare you put the hand that feeds you? You and your trollop of a mother would be sleeping in a ditch if it weren't for my spineless son. The sweet and pleasant things in life are for the noble estate, not for the likes of you. Did you forget your lot? His hand swings and hits Gloria on the cheek. She falls on the floor right next to where you were hidden. Her fingers glisten with the warm melted sugar that brought you here. Grandfather advances again, his walking stick ready, but then he sees you huddling behind the armchair. Please don't hurt him, Sir Bronte. This is all my fault. He tried to stop me. You can already see a bruise on Gloria's cheek. This is only the beginning of her punishment. Gloria was caught red-handed, unlike you. You can still avoid your punishment. What is it then, milksop? Did you try the sugar too? Were you trying to stop this piece of filth, like she says? We can tell the truth for willpower. We can lie and try to convince Grandfather that you were trying to stop her. Or we can mock Grandfather along with our sister. Yeah, the fuck this guy. She's gonna beat my ass, but it's worth. You jump up and try to shield Gloria. Then you start boasting right in his face. Yes, he did eat the sugary treat, and it was very much the opposite of sweet. Good thing Gloria did not have time to eat hers, or it would have disappointed her too. Gloria catches on in a moment. Yeah, sugary treats are for fat noble kids, but they're gross to us. We're just commoners. To continue her train of thought, why, we simply got curious after Stephen started boasting about it. He told us these treats are so good you could eat them forever. But no, your elder brother lied. They are simply unbearable. But then again, what else would you expect from Grandfather's darling Stephen? Grandfather's face is red with rage. He strikes you both with his walking stick blow for blow. You dare mock me? I will not let this stand. Know your place, you foul, low-born scum. He keeps hitting you until he grows tired, and then he leaves you where you are, muttering in impotent rage. Soon enough, Mother comes in to find the two of you on the floor, too afraid to move. She shakes her head in disappointment. You are badly hurt and covered in bruises, yet she still forces you to kneel and recite the precepts on the lots and how important it is to follow them. Gloria's face is bruised and swollen, but she still gives you a weak smile. We got him so riled up. 2 commoners made an honorable noble feel helpless. Makes all the pain worth it. Isn't that right, brother? Your entire body hurts from the heavy blows, but deep inside you are ecstatic. You stood up to Grandfather today. It is a victory you will remember for the rest of your life. +1 relations with Gloria. -1 with a grandpa. +1 determination. This sacrament. Father and Mother had been focused on Nathan and you since early morning. Instead of breakfast, you were told to say your prayers, wash your hands and faces, and get dressed in plain white shirts. Today is the day of your sacrament. Mother, I want to go play in the yard. No playing today. You and Lila are big boys now. It's time for both of you to have your first sacrament. No one can live without a lot. I don't want a lot. Be quiet and listen. You were born commoners, so you must accept a lowborn lot for the twins. When you grow up, you will get a chance to earn a noble lot. Father and Mother take you to the carriage. Nathan is hungry. He starts whining. Grandfather is the last to get in the carriage. His eyes are on you and your brother, looking for every fault. Soon, the carriage is moving along the streets of Anazalt, slowly and solemnly. One more turn, you see the colossal white building marked by 2 massive pillars. For the first time in your life, you are to enter the Church of the Twin Gods. You enter the gate and walk under the splendorous dome of the church. The church hall is divided into 2 halves. They are drastically different from one another. The floor on one side is rough and jagged and covered in dried brown spots, while the floor on the other is made of smooth marble. The commoners kneel on the jagged floor, and the well-dressed nobles and their families sit on pews. Father and Grandfather leave you to sit on one of the nobles' pews. Mother walks the rough stone of the commoner's side and gets down on her knees. You see her wince in pain, for the lowborn estate shall suffer in the house of faith. The church acolytes surround you and lead you to the altar, where you and other children will take your sacrament this day. Before you stands a tall priest, dressed in black, with a sword in one hand and a hefty whip in the other. Nathan's whining grows louder. He dislikes this place. He is scared. You remain quiet, but your stomach roils in uneasy anticipation. The first child to take the sacrament is a jaunty little boy from a family of nobles. The priest extends the sword before him and recites the words of his lot. From this day forth you will fight and rule, and pursue the arts. His mind now forever free from the throes of suffering, for he now belongs to the noble lot. The boy proudly touches the flat of the blade with his lips. Nathan is next to receive the sacrament. He suddenly snaps out of his fearful trance and tries to break free, but the acolyte pulls him towards the altar and throws him on the jagged floor on the lowborn side. The sharp edges bite into Nathan's knees as he lands, spilling drops of red around him. I don't wanna. Lila, why do they want to whip me? What did I do? You try to break free and run to Nathan's side. You want to give him courage and protect him, but the acolyte's grip on you is too firm. You feel utterly helpless. Your little brother has to face the world all by himself. The priest starts reciting the words of the lot as he swings the lash over Nathan's shoulders. From this day forth, Nathan, thou shalt endure, work, and suffer. Thou shalt be ardent in thy labor, and humble in obedience to thy rulers. And now cometh thy first true suffering, which thou must accept with gratitude. The lash cracks. It strikes his right shoulder. It strikes his left shoulder. The blows are so powerful that Nathan falls to the floor. The priest tells him to rise. He has received his lot. Nathan gets on his feet and drags himself towards Mother, his knees torn and bloodied, his spirit broken. It is your turn. Your feet will not move. You can barely muster enough strength to walk to the altar. You get down on your knees and feel the sharp stones below. So sharp, your clothing cannot protect you. Your skin begins to burn. The acolyte forces your head down. You feel the lash being drawn above you, ready to strike. The priest's words are for you now. This is thy sacrament. Thou shalt work and endure and suffer. Thou art about to receive thy first true suffering by the sacred lash. Dost thou accept thy lot? We can accept it. We do not have the determination to raise our head. We can catch the lash, or we can spend willpower to kiss the sword. And do we make a scene? Catch the lash or kiss the sword? How are we feeling? I mean, we're not gonna accept it. Surely not. Let's spend some willpower, but let's be a little shit. The whip slices through the air about to strike, but your eyes are transfixed by the blade the priest holds in his other hand. You jump up and away. The lash misses you. You grab the blade with your hands. It cuts into them without mercy. The priest wrenches it away from your bloodied fingers. You look him straight in the eye. I am Lila of House Barante. The priest freezes in shock. You seize this moment to pull the sword closer and kiss the smooth, cold blade. You hear cries of outrage among the churchgoers. Mother prostrates herself on the jagged floor, racked with fear. Father remains still, baffled by what you have done. Grandfather looks at you intently, as though truly seeing you for the first time. There's a semblance of respect in his gaze. You are forced back to the commoner's place at the altar. The acolyte seize you by the arms and legs and keep your face bent closely to the bloody, jagged stones of the floor. The lash strikes your right shoulder, then your left shoulder. Then you are told to rise. You are a commoner. Mother takes your hand and leads you out of the church. Once you're outside, she scolds you for being insubordinate and bringing shame to your family. Nathan holds your hand as you walk. His tearful face makes a confusion and awe as he looks into your eyes. But you do not feel as though you have made a mistake. You did what was right for you. +1 relation with Grandpa. +1 determination, -1 perception, -5 willpower. Or, oh no, -10 willpower, down to -5. Oops. But hey, at least we're determined. You have taken your first sacrament and received the commoner's lot. Nobleman's Sacrament. Event has happened. Conditions: willpower greater than 0, kiss the sword. You challenge the sacred order and attempt to seize noble lot. Year 1125. Childhood's end. The mark left on you by the sacrament takes a long, long time to heal. Mother says it is a reminder of your lot. Suffering and sufferance, pain and patience. Gloria shows you the mark of the lash on her shoulder one day. It will never disappear. You are a commoner now. This is the lot you were born into. But Father keeps telling you to study hard, so you may yet earn a different lot and become a noble of the mantle. You recall the past with a warm sadness. When Stephen still lived with you. When he wrote to you for a time shortly after he left. Now he thinks it beneath him to write to the commoners in his family. Mother didn't lock herself in the bedroom as often back then. This changed shortly before Nathan was born. But, most importantly, you missed the time before the terrifying figure of your grandfather was constantly looming over you. You learned the true power of the lot only after the head of family's arrival. In grandfather's eyes, no commoner deserves to be treated with kindness. Is this just him, or is it the way of the entire world? The very thought makes you queasy. You are older now, and what's more, you are an elder brother now. You've learned how to care about someone else, how to teach and protect. soon you are a small boy no longer. As the days pass, play gradually gives way to laborious study. Now your choices will decide your place in the bizarre and ruthless world of adulthood. Your childhood years are over. End of Chapter 1, Childhood. Alright. Determination 4, Perception 1. Willpower -5. Deaths yet untouched. We enter adolescence. 8 years.
I was growing up fast. The school,
I'm
the
Take another
streets,
sip of tea
and
during
the
this
whole
cutscene.
wide world awaited me beyond the gate of my parents' house.
Never mind, that cutscene was very short. I'm still gonna take a sip of tea anyway. Chapter 2, Adolescence. We've lived in this world for 8 years now. As you grow older, life grows more complex. The world of your childhood was limited to your house and family, but now that realm is expanding. It also includes your neighborhood, the nearby houses, the streets of the ancient city of Anazult. A question now looms over you, growing more pressing with each passing year. What will your place in this vast outside world? Few people in the blessed Arcane Empire trouble themselves with this question. It is not within a man or woman's power to choose. Their destiny is predetermined by their birth and those who bore them. And yet, your peculiar birth has granted you a choice. Your father is a man of nobility, a worthy example in matters of duty and honor. Your mother is a commoner of lowly estate, humility and patience made flesh. And your sky is ablaze day and night with the light of the shining pillar, the beacon of the clergy. Your back bears the mark of the lash. Will you accept the drudgery and suffering that is the lot of the lowborn for your entire life? Or will you follow in the footsteps of your father and your father's father, and fight for the right to serve the empire as a noble of the mantle? Perhaps you will follow the twin god's word and offer spiritual guidance to others? The answer lies out there in the vast, terrifying world. What awaits beyond the walls of your home? Events that can happen to the Bronte family in this chapter. Gloria's secret, Stephen's disgrace, the blood tide, and Nathan's admonition. Interesting. As well as Matters of the Heart, a revelation of the tree, and Sophia saved. Personal qualities at this age, they determine what choices you may take. Nobility is 0. We are unprincipled. Ingenuity, slow. We're also a dumbass. Spirituality is 0, a mundane. Willpower -5, but hey, at least we're untouched by death. Sections that open in this chapter. Relation screen is now available. Province screen is now available, and Map of the Empire screen is now available. Let us continue. The boy down the street. The family expects more and more of you as you grow up. The teachers and tutors hired by your father keep you on your toes all the time. Your life these days is dedicated to studying for your future, for the future of the Bronte family. Your younger brother Nathan keeps growing up too. He can hold a conversation now. You never refuse him when he comes to play. provided you have a bit of free time between your demanding lessons. It is a rainy day today. Father and mother have gone to a ball, and they left Nathan in your care. You lose track of time over the books in the sitting room, and Nathan goes off alone to splash in the creek. Soon you hear his voice begging you to come outside. He's on the porch, sobbing, all covered in dirt. You walk up to him as he continues to bawl. It's all that kid. He pushed me into that ditch and called me names. He said I was a fancy pants fool. I said I'll call my brother. He's still there. You have to go punish him, Lila. Nathan points at a lopsided wooden house further down the street where the poor artisans live. You see two boys lingering there on the porch. They're clearly both commoners, but far from poor. One of them is almost as tall as Nathan, and he frowns in a funny way, just like him. The other looks older, almost your age. He's more broad-shouldered and taller. His name is Tomas. You've heard it before. There, Lila. That's him. Nathan points at the younger boy and hides behind your back. Tomas grins and rolls up his sleeves to reveal strong forearms. He must have been helping his father with manual labor for quite some time. Listen up, rich boys. We don't give a damn about you or your friendship. We don't let nobody call our home a stinking rat hole. Little brother earns ditch dive. Maybe next time we'll dress normal and stop picking fights with people who can throw them in the mud. Your hands clench into fists before you react. Nathan called them names first. No wonder they did the same. That's how it goes. But pushing your brother into a ditch is too much. Tomas stands tall and confident. He sees no threat in you. You're about ready to get ready for a fight when you feel a tug on your sleeve. You turn your head to see Nathan, the one who started the whole mess. We can come at Tomas and give him a beating. We can say our brother is to blame. We can resolve the matter peacefully. Or we can listen to our brother first, except we can't because we don't have a good relationship with our brother. Let's try to be diplomatic. This quarrel can be resolved peacefully. You turn to Tomas and offer to solve the problem like adults. His brother will apologize to Nathan, and Nathan will apologize to him in return. There's no need to fight anyone. You'll give Nathan a piece of your mind when you get home. You and Tomas are all grown up and should act your age, you say. The blood rushes to Tomas's face when he hears this. Act our age, you say? Are you calling me a baby? You better shut your trap. This is all he says before he attacks. You barely dodge a fist flying at your face. You start trading blows, huffing and puffing with rage. The younger brothers gawk in awe at the sight. Tomas does not resort to fancy moves, dirty tricks, or stupid taunts. He displays nothing but skill in many a street fight, and his heavy fists aim for your head. You keep dodging him again and again, trying to reach him. He takes a couple of glancing blows, but easily shakes them off. What a bruiser. You start swinging your fists with greater and greater fury. Your heart is pounding like a hammer. You see nothing but the foe in front of you. How much longer will this take? You're worn out. Your breath goes ragged, and your muscles grow heavy. There's no way you can give up now. Nathan is watching you. Desperate and out of options, you swing and punch Tomas square in the nose, then immediately let his fist smack you in the temple. The blow rings through your head like a bell and blinds you for a moment. The world swims before your eyes. You clutch at your head to get your bearings. Tomas is standing in front of you, blood dripping from his nose. You no longer want to fight it out, and it seems your opponent would rather end it too. But you keep standing there, eyeing each other angrily. Then suddenly, you hear an angry shout right next to you. An enraged man in a craftsman's apron is shaking his fist. Tomas's face contorts in terror right away. It's my father! Run! The punishment for fighting is flogging, and the mere prospect of that makes you run like the wind. Tomas sprints in front of you. You dash across the wooden planks of the back alley, hop and over a lopsided fence, across a giant puddle in one leap, and then forward into the tall grass. You hide there and stay quiet. You hear no sounds of pursuit. You exchange glances with Tomas and start laughing. His laughter is loud and infectious, but soon he cuts it short and grows sadder. I'm gonna get flogged anyways. My dad's always quick to give me a beating, and then he'll start nagging me about the lot and prayers for days like he always does. Why do I always get myself mixed up in this stuff? But fighting's the only way to prove you're worth anything, right? He don't see you fighting, you tell him, so all you have to do is convince him that you weren't. Nosebleeds happen, right? My mother gets nosebleeds all the time. Well, we could try it. Let's hope her little brothers don't tell on us. I'll talk to mine. There's a scratch on your head. Don't let them see it. Good thing I didn't hit you in the face. There, good as new. You assure him that Nathan will never tell, and in return, you'll make sure he behaves himself so he won't get tossed into a ditch again. With that, you shake hands with Tomas. His handshake is as strong as you would expect based on his fists. You make your way out of the tall grass. You need to leave before Tomas's father goes to your family and complains about you breaking your lot. You come to a realization on the way back. You had no idea the place where you were hiding even existed, and it wasn't too far from your home. Tomas smiles in excitement when he hears this. Oh, I know lots of places like that. I'll tell you what. If we ever get out of this mess today, I'll show you the way to the old fortress wall. It's the perfect place to build your own fort. We dragged a bunch of wooden planks there. Too bad it's no fun to build all alone. Brother never helps, just gets in the way. You emerge from the muddy back alleys, united by a secret only the two of you know. It seems you've made a good friend today. +1 relations with Tomas, and +1 spirituality as well. Year 1127. Riders on the road. Oh no, is OBS dead or is it just my phone lagging? Okay, nah, we're still here, we're chilling. It's blistering hot today, even for the sun-parched land of Magra. As soon as you are done with your studies, you dash outdoors and out of the stuffy room. You and Tomas roll up your shirt sleeves, but it barely helps. You would gladly go shirtless had you only been in the company of other boys. But there are 3 girls in the yard today. They're doing the laundry in a big wash tub, whispering and giggling. If you could, you would gladly keep watching one of them at work. She has big eyes of deep blue. Her dark hair is braided, and her plain gray dress is mended and patched all over. Her name is Sophia. She throws her head back a little when she laughs. The rays of sun are reflected in her eyes. You, Tomas, and the other boys keep telling silly stories. Anything to make her laugh. You sure love telling tall tales, Lila. Oh, I remember this one time. But then Sophia hears a voice calling her home. She nods to you and runs across the street smiling. Her light steps carry her forward, but her eyes are looking elsewhere. But then, the stone on the road catches her foot. She stumbles and falls flat into the dust. The street starts shaking from the thundering of hooves. Riders appear on the road from around the corner. They bear a coat of arms you recognize right away. A sable serpent blade upon a field of vert. It symbolizes that of the Milonitis dynasty, the family of your province's archduke. The horses dash forward. A lost wooden toy on the road cracks under their hooves. They will not slow down. They are nobles, and the rest must make way for them. Sophia's in their way, starting to get back on her feet. Her mother is crying for her desperately from behind the fenced door. You freeze in terror. The riders surely see the girl. Are they going to stop? Are they going to trample her? In only a few moments, the beautiful girl will be toppled, trampled, and crushed. Well, we do not have the willpower to help her, so whomp whomp. You stand frozen by the roadside, unable to look away as the cloud of dust covers the entire street. You feel as if a massive maddened beast whipped into a merciless frenzy has just passed you by. You hear no screams, no cracking bones, nothing but the deafening din of the hooves. Once the horses are gone and the dust settles, you can finally see the road again, and the repulsive blob of blood, flesh, and bone left on it. You can still see the traces of Sophia left in that mess. Her dark hair, the remains of her dress, but it is no longer her. Sophia's earthly remains slowly dissipate and melt into the air. Her mother's eyes are filled with grief as she watches. She hunches over and slowly walks back into the house. You can still hear the riders far away down the road. None of them even bothered to look back. Your friends walk away, at a loss for words. You make your way home, dazed by what you've seen. You're still dazed as you retell these events to Mother, unable to look up from the floor. After a moment of silence, she embraces you and calms you down. Poor girl. What a terrible, painful death. But you must know that it was not her true death. By the twins' mercy, we are all given enough time in this world. Should you die before your time, you'll be brought back by their grace. For 3 times they will rescue you from a terrible fate, but the 4th death is true and final for all. Every loss of life we were granted at our birth is a heavy blow to us, but the gods told us not to mourn a lesser death. Everybody will keep living on as though nothing has happened, even Sophia's parents. Their family is poor, and they have no family crypt like we do. When the girl's soul comes back to life, her body will be reborn in the city church with all her wounds healed. Do not mourn her, my son, but thank the twin gods for their justice. You see Sophia by her house a few days later, and she looks completely fine, without so much as a scratch. You tell the other children tell you that her parents did not forbid her to leave the yard after dying such an early first death. You call out Sophia's name. She looks at you briefly and walks back inside. Sophia never talks to you again. Sophia Status died her first death. $11.28. Sophia disappeared after their terrible incident with the horses. Her friends gossip that her parents sent her off to serve a rich noble dynasty. You haven't seen enough of each other since that day. You haven't seen each other since that day. But you still remember Sophia's eyes, with the sunlight shining in them. But no matter what, life goes on. You're 10 years old now. Your studies continue. You are learning more about the land you live in. Anazot is an ancient city in an imperial province by the name of Magra. All soil in Magra was turned to ash eons ago, scorched by magic during the rebellion of Duke Shar Milanitis. The magical arts are all but gone now, but the scorched earth has remained barren and infertile ever since. Since then, the entire province has lain barren, tormented by cold and scorching winds in equal measure, with few precious plants taking root on their own. All fertile land in Magra is brought elsewhere, and brought here by an endless caravan of carts and carriages. To pay for food and soil, the cities of Magra become skilled in many trades, primarily mining and digging for metals and stone. Last fall, there was an explosion just outside the city, followed by clouds of thick smoke. The first such incident frightened the citizens, but then explosions and smoke became an everyday occurrence. Soon everyone grew used to it. Father explains that the miners are using a new invention called gunpowder. It makes it easier for them to reach the precious stones and metals buried deep within the earth. Then one day, a thunderous explosion rocks the city, and black, billowing smoke covers the houses. People are stuck in their homes, all windows tightly shut, The air is impossible to breathe. Nathan coughs all the time. Gloria and you cough only when nobody is watching. If Mother hears it, she'll make you inhale those hot, burnable vapors just like Nathan. It takes 2 days for the black smoke to disperse. People pour out onto the streets to meet their friends. Tomas is eager to share everything he knows about this incident with you. They took lots of burn-up people to the city temple. Mom told me she was helping the healers. There are many rumors. Some claim it was the work of a beast stirred from its slumber, while others say it's the surviving witches that continue to threaten the Order and the Empire with their accursed powers. But as for you patiently wait for Father to come back home, and then you'll ask him about it. Father spends day and night working at the prefecture, while Mother spends all of her time in prayer. It takes a full week for Father to finally come home, and he's almost completely spent. You muster enough courage during dinner to ask him what happened outside the city. Father races ahead, his face a bleak, wary mask, and starts muttering his proclamation. It's almost as if he doesn't see you. It's the mine outside the city. They were trying to get a vein of ore. There was an explosion. The mine caved in, and the black smoke started flowing. Many workers died there. It was all because Count El Velasco, who owns the mines, wanted them to start mining that vein before they were ready. Some of the workers weren't even reborn. Perhaps the twins thought their final time had come. The prefecture had been inundated with complaints from families that had lost their breadwinners, asking the judges for help. Many people also lost their cattle to the black smoke. Count of Velasco blames gunpowder for the disaster. The prefecture and the newspapers just repeat whatever he says. But it's plain old greed and tyranny of noblemen that are to blame. Why is the welfare of our province always paid for with commoner lives? Then, without warning, he grows silent again. You keep thinking about it for days. Can a human life really end so easily? A single moment of bad luck and you die, only to reemerge from the temple or the family crypt with a new black mark on your arm. Or worse, you remain where you fell, dead, never to be reborn again. Ever. -1 order, +1 wealth of Magra. Stephen's arrival. During lunch, Father tells you to stay home in the evening and prepare to meet some important guests. Your elder brother Stephen will return home by dinner tonight. Joining him will be your grandfather Gregor Bronte, as well as a noble friend of the family. You're excited about your brother's return. It has been years since you last saw him. How has he changed during his years away from home? You and Father await the guests anxiously. The doorbell rings. 3 people are standing outside. Grandfather's the first to come in, naturally. He's not changed a bit since his last visit, still eyeing the house with contempt, looking for any reason to demean it. Grandfather is followed by a stately young man dressed in a jacket embroidered in silver whom you barely recognize as your brother. Stephen casts you a glance at your threadbare clothes, your dirty fingernails, and smirks. The last to enter the house is a personable gentleman with a worn-out, wrinkled face. You've heard a lot about this man from Father and Grandfather. He is Baron Augustin Elborn, Stephen's uncle, a family friend, and the province's prefect, which means that he is the head judge and thus Father's superior. Sir Elborn smiles lightly and offers you his hand. And this must be your younger son, Lila, yes? You have your father's eyes, young man. Father bows slightly to Grandfather and Sir Elborn. There's a moment of quiet when Stephen's turn comes. Father reaches out to him awkwardly, expecting an embrace. There's a question in Stephen's eyes as he looks at Grandfather, The old man shakes his head almost imperceptibly. Father bows slightly to grandfather and Sir Elborn. There's a moment of quiet. I already read that. I might be stupid.
Noblemen aren't put our emotions on public display, Father. Not even after our lengthy separation.
I'm gonna keep doing that voice for Stephen. You can't stop me. There's no embrace. Instead, Stephen nods to Father curtly. He responds in kind, his face devoid of emotion. After the greeting, he proceeds to the sitting room. Elborn is the first to enter. He kisses Mother's hand, and Gloria's too, and tussles Nathan's hair after he sees him hiding by a table. Grandfather acknowledges them with a glum nod.
Greetings, Lila Bronte. I remember when you were kind to me when I was but a child. And you must be Nathan. You could hardly walk when I saw you last.
Your elder brother ignores Gloria completely. Not even a greeting. You proceed to the dining room in a dignified manner and take your seats. The dishes smell delicious, but they merely punctuate the overwhelming tension at the table. Elborn is the only one with a friendly smile on his face. The dinner is splendid, Lydia. Should you choose the dishes yourself? You have a truly refined palate. It warmed my heart to know Stephen spent his early years with you. Womanly care always does a child good, no matter the estate. Your fork freezes in the air halfway to your mouth. You expect many things from a noble of the sword, but words of praise for a low-born woman are not one of them. You cast a look at grandfather. He looks like he is about to choke on those words. Gonna head out for thanks for the reading. Well, thank you for stopping by. Hope you rest well.
It would do my grandson more good to stay at boarding school among his equals.
Please, Gregor, parenting is no less important. Nothing can replace a mother's love, I cannot deny it. It saddens me greatly that my late sister could not be there to raise Stephen. But there was still a family for him, and he was surrounded by love. How could that be bad? And besides, his father was by his side all the while. A father's example is always the best. After all, Robert earned the judge's rank the same way you did. Your grandson will surely follow in your footsteps. And who knows, perhaps even the younger men of the Bronte family will contribute to the...
You clumsy low-born cretin.
Everybody is startled by the sudden outburst. Grandfather's face turns red. He's glaring at a young lady servant holding a pitcher over a glass. Stephen is sitting right next to her, dabbing a napkin on a fresh stain on his jacket.
Begone this instant.
The lady servant runs away, leaving the pitcher on a small table by the door. After a moment, Elborn smiles again. It appears the servants have left us, yet the dinner is far from over.
Worry not, Uncle. There are enough commoners at this table to keep us served with food and drink.
Stephen glares at Gloria across the table. She's sitting right next to you. She shrinks down and hunches over under his gaze. Father furrows his brows. Mother covers her mouth with trembling hands. Grandfather sneers. Stephen's gaze does not move. The silence lasts far too long. Then she starts to rise from her chair. If the Bronte gentleman so wish it. Her hands clench into fists under the table. How can he bring himself to humiliate his own family, his own mother and sister like this? It's all grandfather's doing. Stephen cannot even bring himself to embrace father without his permission. And yet they are noblemen, and they have the right to act this way? If there's any way this dinner can become even more unbearable, you do not want to see it. We can insult her brother, make small talk, and act like nothing happened. Or we can join Gloria in her play. Man, fuck this nerd. You grab Gloria by the arm and keep her seated. Stephen turns a puzzled gaze toward you. With a wry smile, you open your mouth. Stephen, did you have the gall to speak without Sir Gregor's permission? Surely you wouldn't even answer nature's call without his leave. Stephen looks at grandfather, completely flabbergasted. And then chaos. Grandfather roars with fury. Father stares you down with a disappointed look on his face. Gloria tries again and again to contain her laughter. Nathan hides under the table. Sir Elborn is unsure what to do. Stephen looks like he's about to cry. Then Mother takes your hand and leads you out of the dining room. Back from cake. Oh, welcome back, Larry. How was the cake? What kind was it? Was it like a birthday cake? Something a bit fancier? I'm curious. I'm pretty picky about cake personally. I don't really care for ice cream cake, nor do I care for birthday cake. But pretty much everything else I tend to enjoy. I mean, I'm not that picky. I'll eat some birthday cake. I'm just not like that big on it, you know? Like, I'd much rather have a pie than a cake in general. With cheesecake, always get it as your birthday cake. Cheesecake's pretty good. I respect that. You expect to be locked in your room as usual, but instead, she leads you outside to an unlit shed. I'm locking you in here for the night, son. Your presence tonight would be an insult to our noble guests. It's time you learned the meaning of humility. You do your best to fall asleep inside the shed on the cold wooden floor. Anything to make this rotten day end sooner. Grandfather's cries of outrage can still be heard from the house. Gloria sneaks out of the shed in the middle of the night. She calls to you from behind the wooden planks. There's gratitude in her voice. Locking you up and now it's time to kill them? Yeah, I should have kicked Grandfather in the shin when I had the chance. That's like my biggest regret so far. I never thought you would defy them like that. Thank you so much for standing up to them. Sir Gregor got so mad he forgot all about me, so I ran away. Sir Elborn took Stephen away with him. How are you doing in there? You're not going to freeze to death, are you? It's nothing, you tell her. You'll live. The important thing is that Grandfather and Stephen finally left her alone. You defended your sister's honor tonight. -1 relation with Stephen. Status bad blood. He is indifferent to us. +1 relation with Gloria. +1 ingenuity. Dropped handkerchief. Hot, dry wind sweeps through the city from the barren lands around it. The noble residents of Anazot prefer to remain in their chambers while the commoners huddle in tents or in the shade of the silver tree. You are on an errand right now. Your father wrote a letter to a noble acquaintance and you are to deliver it. Tomas, the boy down the street, is tagging along. The two of you are inseparable now. The errand is an easy one, so you decide to take this opportunity to loiter around the part of Anazot where the nobles live. So, here you are, in the middle of the city square, resting on the ancient brickwork by the old fountain in the merciful shade of the gargantuan silver tree. Tomas is by your side, lazily slouching on the edge of the fountain's basin. It's a hard life for commoners like you and me. Either you break your back in a workshop day and night, hoping someone will buy your goods someday, or you become a manservant to some noble. Never get a chance to enjoy life. This is our lot, you remind him. We work and endure and suffer. But Tomas waves your words away. Yeah, I know all that already. Mother keeps drilling that stuff into me. Must be humble or strength of patience and persistence. So yeah, I say. But I want to make my fortune no matter what. So how ain't that living by my lot, I ask you? But the lots, they ain't easy. Let's take you, for example, Bronte. Father's a nobleman, but even if that didn't make you one, just look at your hands. Never to work as hard as me. We have the same lots, we're supposed to suffer the same. Look at your father. He's a judge. He toils at the prefecture day and night doing his judging. He's a noble? I've never seen an Arcnean work as hard as he does. You shrug. The Arcneans are a different race. The books say they were born to rule over humans. They are never commoners, always nobles of the sword by birth. They founded the Empire after subduing all the human kingdoms on the continent. Humans will never be their equals. The Arcneans are always better, smarter, stronger, and their skin is a noble shade of blue. If the books are to be believed, of course. You've never seen one yourself. Your idle chatter is suddenly interrupted by a rugged-looking guardsman dressed in black and green. He chases you away from the fountain. Common rebel like you have no place here. You hear the clattering of hooves and wheels against the cobblestones, and see flags bearing a coat of arms. A sable serpent on a field of vert. That makes you squirm. It is the Archduke's coat of arms. The Melanitis dynasty. The carriage door opens, revealing a young lady in a luxurious dress. You cannot look away from her. Those dainty shoulders, suggested but not revealed by the cut of her dress. Her black hair cascading over them. Her stately slim silhouette. Her pouty lips and prim nose. And those eyes, dark like the night sky. The way she moves, fluidly, gracefully. And most incredible of all, her skin glows an azure blue. She is a masterpiece given life. She is an Arcnean. Clear the way for me. Melanitis guardsmen work quickly to clear the way to the fountain for the Arcnean lady. The searing sun dances on her skin in bizarre patterns. With one elegant motion, she reveals a handkerchief, and then leans over the basin and wipes her head and neck with its cool water. Well, I'll be. That's Octavia Melanitis, our Archduke's own daughter. The Arcnean turns away and proceeds gracefully back to her carriage. You see something slip out of her hand and fall onto the cobblestones right next to you. Her handkerchief. It is right there by your feet. Intricate craftsmanship, expensive woven fabric, delicately decorated with an emerald filigree. Your heart skips a beat. Will you dare draw the beautiful Arcnean's attention in order to return her lost possession? Or would you rather not attempt to cross the chasm between you and her? Well, we don't have the willpower to return it, so we can either stash it, planning to sell it later, or we can keep it as a memento. I feel like we're probably going to get arrested if we try to sell it. Let's just keep it as a memento. You carefully observe Lady Octavia as she leaves. Her delicate figure moves through the square like a waking dream. Her elegant hands gliding through the air, her hair flowing in a light breeze. Your eyes watch all of her. She returns to the carriage, leaning on a guardsman's shoulder as she gracefully climbs back inside. We got no risk to return it. It's already over. Yeah, we got no willpower. I kissed the sword that I wasn't supposed to kiss one time, and that drained all my willpower, and I have not gained any since then. Oh, never mind, actually. There we go. Willpower. The soft handkerchief feels warm in your hand. You fold it carefully and hide it in your pocket. The carriage drives away, marked by the thudding rhythm of hooves. Until that day, you associated the Melanitis dynasty with nothing but indifferent cruelty. But now your breast pocket holds the proof of yet another quality they possess: beauty. Plus 10 willpower. We're at 5 because we were at -5. Oh, hello, William Eck Fogwell. Holy show, you're the first streamer in ages who got the last name spelled correct? Oh. Well, welcome. 12 years old now, and you hear an important conversation. It is a spring night, and Mother has just sent everyone to bed. You walk past Father's study, and your voice is coming from beyond the door. Grandfather is yelling, and Father is replying quietly. The elder Bronte men are fighting. arguing about the place of commoners in the city. You sneak outside to avoid Mother's attention and hide next to the open window of the study. Perhaps they'll mention you too. How do you mean you kissed a sword that you weren't supposed to touch? Okay, so earlier, I think I explained the whole thing with the lots. There's this thing called the sacrament, which is where you receive your lots. And since we were a commoner, we were supposed to get whipped. But also, the nobles, when they receive their lot, instead of getting whipped, they kiss a sword. And I dodged the whip and kissed the sword. And then they held me down and whipped me anyway. But, you know, I had to farm Mura. It was very important.
That low-life idiot had the gall to pay me a visit and beg me for some service. He had the insolence to ask me outright. He thought I was going to support his claim for the chairman's seat in lesser quorum. How dare he?
Father, please listen. Mayor Eggman may be low-born, but he carries a lot of clout in Magra. He owns 5 iron mines. A friend like him could be quite useful, should he become the chairman of the lesser quorum. Or on the agenda is all that matters, so fair enough. Exactly.
I don't give a damn who this Eggman is, Robert. What he is, however he is, lowborn. His lot is humility and obedience. The likes of him can never rule anything. They are nothing but a flock of sheep that need a firm, noble hand to guide them. I wasted so many years trying to quash that quorum decree, but that accursed Cornelius Tempest did everything in his power to make the Emperor sign that pathetic screed. And now even lowlifes can wield power. True power, Robert. Just the right to discuss the size of the Archduke's tax, nothing more. That is only the beginning. What's next? Are they going to arm the lowlifes now? Make them into judges? If the Empire rejects the foundations and the lots, the entire edifice will crumble. Who am I telling this to? It is already crumbling, and you, my son and heir, are a harbinger of its destruction.
If you're spelling Anazoti instead of Anazot, you're a blessing. The translation from the original isn't really good. I see. Father, I'm begging you. I do not wish to marry a 3rd time. Lydia is a good wife and a dutiful mother to my children. If you would only allow her to...
I will allow them nothing. Neither Eggman nor that freeloading wench of yours. What will you want me to do next? Live by the laws of the lowborn? I can already see where this is going, and I'd rather run my own sword through my gut than live in a country where nobles and lowlife share the same rights. My only dream is to see the name of Bronte in the blue book, but that dream will never come true. They will never call me Venerable El Bronte, and it's all because of this marriage of yours. My only hope now is to hear Stephen addressed in such a manner one day. Thank the twins I didn't let you ruin the boy. He is about to grow up a true nobleman. His children will bear the name of El Bronte. You have 2 more grandsons. Those spineless milksops from the common lot, they're incapable of anything. The best your Middleton could do is sneak into the Imperial College and get emboldened by the mantle, although I have grave doubts about even that. As for the downtrodden Nathan, I hold now no hope for him whatsoever.
You hear grandfather's heavy footsteps, the thudding of his cane and the slamming of the door. It's time to sneak back home before you're discovered. +1 power. Overseer in power. School begins, year 1130. You start studying at the School of Sir Tibor and begin to master the sciences. Gotta slime this man out, genuinely. I said it before, I'll say it again. My greatest regret so far in life was not kicking him in the shin when I had the chance. Finally, the day comes when teachers stop coming to the house. But before you can breathe a sigh of relief and put away the books, Father asks you to come to his study. You've grown, my son. It is time for you to continue your education away from home. I've chosen a deserving school for you. Sir Tibor's School for the children of noblemen and well-off commoners. Naturally, it is not a boarding school for nobles, so you will study there during the day and come home in the evening. In the original, the name of the city was supposed to have an Italian sound to it. Superb voicing for Gregor, by the way. Thank you, thank you. I really enjoy voice acting. I'd like to maybe get into it sometime. Like, try doing some just like, I don't know, the voiceovers of memes, or maybe do like a silly ASMR. That could be fun. You share the news with your best friend Tomas. Sir Tibor School, eh? Yeah, I gotta ask my parents to send me there as soon as they get the coin together. Father says his workshop has toiled day and night for years to save up for my education. The school is based in an ancient state of Archean design. The classrooms are tall and spacious with massive benches. The sounds of scraping quills and lectures on history and imperial law and theology echo under the vaulted ceilings. The rules are strict, the lessons tiring. Restless Tomas keeps getting distracted, and several times he gets his hand slapped with a stick for it. Every teacher demands flawless mastery of their subject. Every day, Father asks you about your studies. You've already told him twice how Magra joined the Empire, and how the Noble's Court of Honor is different from the Commoner's Civil Court in the city prefecture. But Father keeps pressuring you to work even harder. When it is time to go to bed, Mother will not let you sleep until you recite a newly learned prayer for her. And when it is time to go to school, you promise her every day that you will behave with great humility and steer clear of insolent behavior of any kind. For you still live by the commoner's lot, and that lot is hard work and suffering. Your first month in school draws to a close, and the teachers announced that there will be exams at the end of the month to determine the best and worst students in each subject. Father insists that you devote all your spare time to studying law and history if you wish to ever follow in his footsteps. Where to get ever from? Ever was not in that sentence. When you speak to Mother every day, you start considering theology. You still remember the revelations and divine visions that came to you in your earliest years. You have only one more day until the exam. You've locked yourself away in your room. It's already getting late. Your desk is covered with handwritten notes surrounded by leather-bound books. Just looking at them makes you queasy, but you have to read through all of them again, at least one for your subjects. There's a nagging thought on your mind. Tomas ended up in big trouble the other day. He got in a fight with several boys who lived next street. They heard about your wooden fortress and got outraged by the fortification built by commoners. They swore to dismantle it tonight. Tomas swore he would defend the fortress until the end. Perhaps you should abandon the books to rescue the friend in need? I'm actually currently working on a similar game, a textual RPG. I would love to hear your narration of it one day. Oh, thank you. I hope you finish it someday, and I would love to narrate it someday. Writing is very, very cool. I wish I was better at it. I've tried my hand at writing a couple D&D campaigns, but it is not a talent that I have. Maybe someday I'll try it again, but for now, I think I'm hanging up the pen, or I guess the keyboard. I don't write with a pen, I type. But then you hear your little sister, what am I saying? Little brother Nathan knocking at the wooden door. He stands there shyly, not saying a word. He often does that, standing still and staying speechless until either you speak first or he runs away. But this time he actually says something. He's just like me, for real, for real. I also tend to not speak unless spoken to. The door is locked. Are you okay, Lila? Is there anything I can do to help? Your head is spinning. This is the last evening before the school exam. If you fail, your family will be very disappointed. You have to refresh your memory on law or theology, either one or the other. But Tomas and your fort are about to be stormed. Why today of all days? You grind your teeth in rage at the thought. Nathan is by the door, trying not to bother you. He wants to help you the only way he can, for reasons known only to him. Will you accept his help? All the luck with that, friend. Thank you, thank you. Can focus on law and history. We can go help Tomas. We can study theology. Or we can spend a moment with Nathan. I do like Nathan. I'll spend a moment with Nathan. I can't help but pay attention to your brother's quiet, weak voice. You push the books away. Nathan runs to you and wraps his arms around your legs. They should just leave you alone. I don't want you to get sick. Warmth emanates from his hands. You feel the burden of the responsibilities that rest upon you fall from your shoulders. At last you realize something. You can make your own decisions rather than submitting to the will of others. You laugh at this realization and feel a new spring in your step. Nathan laughs with joy when he feels this. He takes your hand and pulls you outside. You've studied enough. You spend the rest of the evening playing with your little brother, teaching him how to build a watchtower out of wooden planks, sticks, and old rags behind the house. Nathan's success in construction leaves much to be desired, unlike his skill in covering himself with mud. Still, he is absolutely overjoyed. The morning comes. You barely have time to wake up before you're walking to the menacing edifice of the school. Oh, hello, Seren. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the hydrate reminder. I'll take a sip of tea after I finish this page. The entire day is a constant flow of questions demanding answers. You give satisfactory responses on law and history, although you were somewhat confused by the many technicalities and chronological orders. Your knowledge of the interpretations of the lots leaves much to be desired. Your parents are dissatisfied with your performance. You know you could have worked harder. Still, you believe yesterday was not a waste. Alright, tea sipped. +1 relation with Nathan. And +10 willpower as well. $11:30. Fall. Noble titles. Your education continues. As you study imperial law, you come to realize that there's a certain hierarchy even within the noble estate. It seems your father's status is not quite equal to that of the more eminent human and Archean gentry. You return home with this new information at your disposal. Father asks you about school after dinner, as he always does. And what is the difference between nobles of the mantle and those of the sword, Lila? You already have an answer ready. The latter status is hereditary, meaning that it is passed down from father to son. After the Archnians, nobles of the sword are the most eminent humans in the Empire. They own land and estates, they fill offices of the highest ranks, and the names of their bloodlines are preserved within the Great Blue Book. Nobility of the sword can only be granted by the overseer of province or the emperor himself. And how are such eminent people addressed? With the honorific L before their last name, you respond. Sir Augustin Alborn, for example. Father pats you on the shoulder, clearly pleased. And what about the Archnians and their status? What have you learned about them? The Archnians stand above all human gentry. They are born to rule over humans regardless of their titles. No L is required when addressing them. They need no honorifics, for the names of their ancient dynasties are known to all. Father nods somberly. Yes, we can never be their equals. Do whatever an Archnian tells you and never defy them. Ever. So what about grandfather and me? Where do we stand as nobles? That is easy. Father and grandfather are nobles of the mantle. This title cannot be inherited, but it can be earned by any commoner as a reward for great service to the Empire and the Legion, or as a civil servant. Father grows quiet and looks at you in the eye intently. Yes, And someday you will earn a noble title too, son. All in due time. Sir Tiber's school teaches children of all stripes. Nobles of the mantle and lowborn parents can send their sons here. In every passing day, the children of noblemen invent new ways to snub and bully the commoners. Most of the time, the bully leading them is Diedrich, the son of the secretary for the city hall and a self-important slob. The sons of noblemen never pick on you, however. They know that your father has been ennobled by the mantle. However, Diedrich and his retinue soon choose Tomas as their favorite victim. Time and time again, you ask your friend not to pay them any mind, but again and again, Tomas grows angry and snaps at their self-satisfied mockery. It is early morning. The students are busy flocking to the classroom for their next lesson. You wave Tomas over when you see him. He waves back at you. And then a bucket full of slop splashes over him. Needless to say, it is the work of Diedrich and his entourage. You hear his familiar creaky laughter. The tailor's son stinks. How dare he sit next to decent folk? Tomas clenches his fists. You're dead, Diedrich. He throws himself at Diedrich's haughty entourage like a soldier ready to wage war. He attacks them first. This is just what they expected, and they are free to retaliate. He barely makes one movement before 4 pairs of hands grab him at once. Diedrich sneers and kicks your friend in the belly. Tomas gasps for air and starts coughing. You stand between them as Diedrich readies another kick. The nobleman's son cocks an eyebrow. Why do you mingle with commoners, he asks. Your father is a noble of the mantle. You ought to be friends with your own kind, your equals, not the dirt beneath your feet. Behind him, 4 boys hold Tomas down as he struggles furiously. The other students are watching you, frozen in fear. Diedrich haughtily extends a hand to you. He clearly expects you to shake it. What will you do? Jump them, rock his shit? What are the options? We can challenge Diedrich to a fight. We can turn him over to the teachers. We can admonish the nobleman's sons. Or we can shake Diedrich's hand. He's right, being friends with the sons of nobles can benefit your family. Well, you know, I can't let Larry down. Larry said to rock his shit. Let's rock his shit. I'm gonna get my ass beat. You do not shake his hand. Instead, you challenge Diedrich to display at least some dignity by fighting you one-on-one. I've been saying Diedrich, it's a Diedrich. The E is before the R. Oops. That is, if he considers himself a nobleman's son, of course. Diedrich's face grows serious. There's no way for him to refuse this challenge in public. Nah, you got this? Yeah, totally. Diedrich makes a sign, and Tomas is released and pushed to the floor. He gets back on his feet, cursing and itching to rush at them again, but you hold your friend back. The teacher of Imperial Law comes into the room just in time. Everybody immediately returns to their seats. A day full of lessons begins. You keep daydreaming of Diedrich's face and how you're going to put an end to that nasty smile of his. Let's catch that bastard together, Together and clean his clock. He hurt me, not you. The deal's been made, you tell your friend. This is a matter of your honor now. Tomas huffs angrily, but agrees. Diedrich is already waiting for you in a narrow back street by the school, his retinue by his side. You walk forward and give him an opportunity to end this dispute once and for all. This is the nobleman's way. If you win this battle, Diedrich and the other children of nobles will never pick on the commoner's sons again. If he wins, you will never stand in their way and protect other students. You will fight him one-on-one. Diedrich walks forward uncertainly. You both roll up your sleeves. You raise your fists in a fighting stance. Diedrich tries to copy your movements. You hit him first. Diedrich does manage to land several glancing blows, but he's fighting a losing battle. He has never been in a real street fight. Tomas nods in approval. You've learned a lot from him. It does not take long for Diedrich to stop fighting back. One more blow and he squeals and raises his hands. You've won. You turn to the other nobleman's son with a victorious smile on your face. No more teasing. And if anyone else says so much as one bad word about Thomas, what am I saying? I cannot read. Holy shit. And if anyone says so much as one bad word about Tomas, they'll pay. Diedrich's former retinue disperses silently. +1 relation with Tomas. +1 nobility as well. Told you that you got this. I'm glad someone had confidence in me because I did not. But you know what? It worked out. The Silver Tree. Your theology teachers tell you more about Anazot. It is more than just the provincial capital. It is also a sacred place blessed by the gods. It is where the twin gods' first disciples spilled their blood, and from that blood grew the sacred silver tree. Its enormous foliage hangs over the city. You see its branches in the sky every day, but you've never approached the trunk of the tree yourself. Today, you'll be taking your first trip to the Silver Tree. Your class is visiting a service in the great temple by the tree's very roots. Thanks to your theology teacher, you and the other students will witness this landmark of the twins' advent up close. Everybody is excited. Soon you and the other boys enter the slums surrounding the church district of Anazot. The roots are pulsing under your feet. They spread underground all throughout the area. Pathetic, cramped hovels and filthy streets surround the trunk of the tree. They're home to paupers, day laborers, and preachers. The people of the district bow humbly to you and point you towards the temple. They seem at peace despite the abject poverty in which they live. All who live directly beneath the tree are filled with its divine grace, your teacher says. People come here to make peace with the world and their fate in it. Your class is unusually quiet. Everyone is listening to the rustling of the leaves and the underground beatings of the roots. The sky above you is obscured by the tree's canopy. You find the temple of the twin gods right next to the tremendous trunk of the tree. It almost seems a part of it. There's a crowd there. Pilgrims dressed in traveling clothes, paupers and beggars, common people of the city, and the occasional well-dressed noble. There are arguments among some people who are gathered in separate, small groups. Many people are wandering around, staring upwards at the tree's branches. The tree impresses you with its might and the calm emanating from it. You are filled with a desire to sit down and think of the world, to learn something about yourself, to touch the silver-white bark and hearken to the whispering leaves. You are distracted enough to fall back from the rest of your classmates. You notice a small path. It should take you right next to the trunk. A tall, red-haired woman walks out of the crowd of pilgrims. She is wearing a worn white robe. She is no longer young, but her face is youthful, and covered in freckles. Her hands clutch a book. You've never seen this lady pilgrim before, yet she looks at you almost as if she has recognized a lifelong friend. She beckons to you and says her name, Matilda, a preacher from Astinia. What she says next shakes you to your very core. It is commendable to see a young man so keen to learn the teaching of the twins, she says. Yet you will never follow the light of truth within the walls of the temple. Inside you will find only the lies about the lots, the erring words of prophet Ascidius, sanctified by the passage of centuries. Yet anyone who sets out to read the accounts of the twins' own lives know that they never so much as mention the lots. The red-haired preacher's words frighten you. They clash with everything you've heard from Mother, everything you've been taught at school. The lots are a lie? You freeze in fear. Should you argue with Matilda, or ask her for more information? Or should you treat her as a madwoman and catch up with your classmates? You suddenly feel a small, warm hand grasp your own. You see a girl right next to you. She's just a little older than you, wearing a black dress. threadbare yet almost spotless. Her hair is covered by a handkerchief, with only a single golden lock showing. Her brown eyes are burning with rage, her hand pulling you away from the red-haired preacher. You stare in confusion at the strange young girl, your cheeks flushed by the sudden touch. There's just a bit of color on her cheeks too, but then she starts speaking to you quickly. Don't listen to her, she's dangerous. Come to the temple with me, only there will you see the truth. You stand there, surrounded by the crowd of praying pilgrims, the sound of shuffling feet torn between the two people you've never seen before. And each of them expects you to follow her. But all the while you hear the whispering of the wind in the tree's branches. The branches reach out for you, almost as if the tree wishes to speak to you itself. Can you hear its voice? We can follow the girl into the temple in exchange for willpower. We can stay with the red-haired pilgrim. We can leave them both and approach the tree. Or we can give in to the epiphany, except, we would be able to if we had a destiny and epiphany, but alas, we do not. I'm curious what the red-haired pilgrim has to say. I'm always down for a little blasphemy as a treat. You shrug, smile sheepishly at the girl, and walk towards the red-haired preacher. Sorta seems a tad sketch on both ends. Yeah, perhaps. This Matilda of Estenia. She speaks too strangely to be ignored. You feel she will be leaving soon anyway. And the temple. Surely the temple is not going anywhere. The lady preacher hands her book to you. There are words on the cover. The Lives of the Twins. The book is so heavy you almost drop it. The crowd around you barely allows for a proper reading. The best you can do is flip through the pages and hope to glimpse a message or two from it. Matilda's hushed voice comments on each new page. This book was written by the disciples of the twins. When the twin gods descended and brought faith into the world, they walked the lands with them. It is filled with many stories of wonders and battles, as well as records of the twins' own sermons and dialogues. They discuss many things that now guide the living, the fate that awaits us on the shining pillar, the eternal life after true death, the profane evil of magic. Yet Matilda points out something that you cannot help but notice yourself. There's not one mention of the lots in this book. How can this be, you ask her? It is what it is, she responds. The twins never spoke of them. They never left any teaching behind, nothing but their deeds and their own lives in this world. You frown. Then how come we know about the lots now? They exist thanks to Asadius, she says. Asadius, favored by the gods, the elder's favorite disciple, walked the lands by his side and through all his hardships until his fatal end in Eterna. They came to be, she explains, and people came to Asadius and asked him how they should live. Yet Asadius was but a man, and his teachings of the lots were not a divine revelation, but a speculation of his own devising. This feels much tougher than learning prayers. So if the teaching of the lots comes not from the gods, but rather from their student, what does that mean for you? What does it mean for the people? A new faith, the red-haired preacher says with a smile. You think about her words for a long time as the silver tree whispers above your head. The very tree grown from the blood of the people who walk the land with the younger and the elder. You keep on thinking about it even as you make your way home and into bed. Your conclusions bring you no comfort. If that strange lady preacher was right, then you're supposed to be free to interpret the twins' words yourself, which means that you and only you should be responsible for your life and fate in the hereafter. But who can tell for sure? You cannot fall asleep that night, so they were lying to you all this time? In the morning, you still mutter off a prayer, and the words of your lots. To endure, to work, endure, and suffer. But is it all worth it if the lots don't really exist? Or is it the will of the twins after all? Did they actually speak their will through Asadius, and those who defy that will are defying the true order of the world? Those questions will remain in your mind for a long time. -1 relation with Eugene. +1 spirituality. The shadow of the past. Another school day has ended. You are making your way home, still mulling over the things you learned from your teachers. The founding of the empire, the eternal, unshakable rule of a single dynasty, the 3 estates, each with its own rights. What an odd sort of order the world has, and yet so mysterious. At least it sounds that way when your teachers talk about it. Mother is waiting for you on the porch. She smiles gently when she sees you, and yet her expression still shows great concern. Brother left on a trip several distant Magran towns a few days ago. Since then, Mother's been trying to tell you something, but she seems uncertain. Son, could you put your things away and come pray with me? You join Mother in a prayer to the twins. She prays with fervent sincerity, her head bowed low, reciting the words of obedience to them and their greater designs in a barely audible whisper. You repeat after her, just as she taught you ever since you were a little boy. When the prayer ends, Mother sighs and turns to you. Lila, my son, you're 13 now. You'll be grown soon. It's time you learned about certain things that are important to our family. Difficult things. It's about your father and me. About our marriage. You gaze curiously into Mother's eyes. I'm sure you've wondered about this before. Your father is a nobleman of the mantle, so how could he marry a commoner with another man's child? But you see, Lila, your father, when his first wife, Amelia Elborn, died, it was a painful blow to him. He lost the will to live, lost all purpose. He felt like his own destiny was cut short that day as well. And then he met me. You know the troubles I had in the past. I went to the prefecture as a petitioner to ask them for help, protection, justice. When I was a young girl, I worked at a small shop that sold crockery and dishes. A nobleman took a liking to me. May his name be forever forgotten. The twins knew I was humble and honored his lot to rule, but he took me by force. Mother falls silent, summoning the courage to continue. Gloria is that nobleman's daughter, but he was outraged. How could I have the gall to burden him with low-born progeny? Oh my god, I cannot read. He turned me out on the streets with that little baby girl in my arms. Mother's voice is shaking now. You take her hand tenderly. I had no home, no honor, nowhere to go, no one to help me. When I went to the prefecture, I didn't really think the judges there would help me find justice against my former master. But when Sir Robert heard my plea, his eyes met mine, and I believe that, at that very moment, the twins themselves granted him the gift of their love. Your father told me that there was nothing he could do to make that detestable nobleman marry me, but he would never abandon me and baby Gloria, and if I agreed, he would take me into his own home. Tears are running down Mother's cheeks. And I knew it, my son. I knew how much his honor and reputation would suffer, but caring for me brought him back to life. It's like he experienced another sacrament. He rediscovered his noble purpose, his lot to rule and protect and care for others. But his decision to marry me, he's still paying for it today. Your father had the courage to defy your grandfather, the founder of his bloodline. If only you knew how much he had to endure, my son. If only you knew the despicable rumors we heard about the Brontes all over Anazote. It was only thanks to the efforts of Sir Gregor that the Bronte bloodline managed to hang on to what little remained of its reputation. And now the noble families have all but forgotten about that scandal. Thank the twins. Mother falls silent. She looks at you intently. Do you understand what she is telling you? My son, I'm not telling you this just to share the pain of the past. I have no reason to complain. Even Sir Gregor has accepted me through gritted teeth. But you need to understand the heavy burden our family must bear, including our scandalous marriage and Gloria's foul origin. And Gloria, she can never be a Bronte. Even if the elder Brontes agreed, the news would stir up the old scandal in the minds of high society. And if that were to happen, Lila, they would even see your birth as illegitimate. Mother sighs heavily. What I told you just now is something you have to know, son. You are about to enter adult life. By my lot, I must be humble. I cannot tell you how to treat your family, but may I ask you a question? Now that you know all this, do you still see Gloria as your sister? Absolutely. Gloria's kind of the goat. Filled with determination, you assure Mother that Gloria is and will always be your sister. You want Gloria to be a Bronte too. You want her to be a part of your family. Who cares what the nobles of Anazot have to say? Mother beams with quiet joy when she hears this. Oh, Lila, if only you knew how happy that would make me, to have our families united at last. However, the joy on her face quickly gives way to concern. But I already owe Sir Robert a debt I can never repay. He's given my daughter so much. A home, an education, his care and advice. The Bronte bloodline could suffer so much from Gloria's existence. We should all just learn to accept her status as it is. Just then, you hear Gloria carefully knock at the door of Mother's chambers. Mother, Lila, I couldn't find you. You happily greet your sister. Yes, she is your sister. No old secrets could ever change that. Mother gives you and Gloria a kiss on the forehead and returns to her prayers. You and your sister walk downstairs together. Mother is alone by her bedside now, thanking the twins with a quiet prayer for the Bronte family. They've given her. You hope they can hear her. Plus one relation with Gloria, as well as a mother. Year 1131. Fall, the flesh, and the flame. You're 13 now. Another theology lesson. Today's sermon is about the priests and why the clergy is the only one of the three estates with the right to interpret the lots and guide the other two estates accordingly. Tomas sits next to you, huffing and puffing as he fervently writes down the teacher's every word. But you've heard all this from Mother many times before, so you take this moment to daydream a little. Mother promised to take you to the capital once your studies are complete. But the teacher suddenly casts a stern look around the lecture hall and raises his voice at one of your classmates. A boy by the name of Brian jumps out of his seat. The teacher asks him to repeat what he had just said. Brian freezes and seems to shrink. He tries to muster a reply, but nothing comes out. The class becomes agitated. Someone is about to get punished. The teacher now looms over Brian. The boy's cheeks are flushed, and his eyes are now covered in tears. You all watch as the teacher's iron-bound book, as he raises it sharply, about to strike. Brian shrieks and raises a hand in front of him. A sudden flash. The teacher screams and buries his face in his arms. His hair's ablaze, and his skin is covered in horrible burns. It's magic, real magic, just like in the books about the Magra Rebellion. The class freezes in shock. There's a dull thud as the iron-bound book falls to the floor. Brian's hysterical laughter rends the silence. He stands up from his bench, fire in his eyes and sparks on his fingertips. There are screams now. Students run for the door. The teacher tries to extinguish his burning hair. Brian snaps his fingers, and the book Visadius on the desks turns into pillars of flame. He laughs and raises his arms, and the curtains catch fire. The screams grow louder as the fire howls. Brian's face is tense and violent. His mouth is spewing flames, and his whole body is shaking with laughter. He steps towards the door. You and Tomas glance at each other. He's going to burn the whole school down. Your friend's determination makes you brave. You run behind Brian and knock him off his feet. You both tumble to the floor. Even through his clothes, his body sears your flesh. Brian screams, convulses, and grabs Tomas by the shoulders with his burning hands. Tomas howls but stays put, and then knocks Brian senseless with several fierce blows to the head. There are servants fussing around the room now. They put out the fire and take away the teacher, his body covered in horrible burns. You and Tomas remain next to Brian, who is lying on the floor, silent. Soon, 3 men in black cloaks enter the doors of the school, each bearing an edict sealed with silver, the Inquisition. You and Tomas are told to step away from the witch. They lock Brian's neck in a silver collar and take him away. One of the Inquisitors remains behind to tell the students what happened. That was magic, he explains. The ungodly power that twists the minds of men into savage instruments of murder. Only the sacred shackles of silver can hold it at bay. Only the power of the twins can save us all from its evil grasp. The next day you were forbidden from ever mentioning Brian's name again. He is no more. +1 relation with Tomas. The Nobleman's Lot. A great day looms ahead. 100 years ago, Uther Tempest was anointed to rule over the Empire. Blessed by the twins themselves, the Emperor's reign continues into its 2nd century. Celebrations in honor of the Tempest dynasty are held throughout the city, and the school is closed for 2 weeks because of that. On one of those evenings, Father tells everyone that Grandfather is going to bring Stephen back home for the holiday. They say families should celebrate the day of anointment together. You could benefit from your elder brother's company. With this noble education, Stephen might be able to teach you how noblemen are supposed to act. Soon, Stephen arrives. He now handles himself differently. When it comes to ignoring servants around and ignoring Gloria, he is still Grandfather's double, but he's more grown up now and far less haughty to you. It's a dark winter evening. A damp, cold wind sweeps through the city from the barren lands of Magra. You and Stephen are sitting in the library. He's telling you all about Eterna, the capital of the Empire. It is full of so many wonders. The Imperial Palace, the enormous Temple of the Twins, the Military Academy, the Imperial College. I've read so much about these places, he has seen them firsthand. Nathan enters the library. He looks concerned. I can't find Gloria. I looked everywhere. She's not in the attic, not in the sitting room, not in the kitchen. I heard she wanted to sneak off to the ruins of Melanidas' palace. She could be lost in there. You and Stephen exchange looks. Char Melanidas, the rebellious duke. The ruins of his palace are a dangerous place. Some children claim his tainted magic still lingers there, which means you absolutely have to make your way there and back again to prove you're not afraid of a long-dead witch. Your brother tells you to wait. He leaves and soon returns with his sword in its sheath.
Get ready, Lila. We're going to rescue Gloria. She must have gone to the ruins in search of inspiration for another one of her little rhymes.
I'm gonna keep doing the nerd voice for him. You can't stop me. I don't care if Sadie's grown up now. He is still a dumb little twerp. The two of you instruct Nathan to tell your parents you've gone for a walk in the square. You and your elder brother head outside. You're confused by Stephen's actions. She refuses to treat Gloria like a human being, so why is he so determined to rescue her? Stephen notices your expression.
Are you wondering why I care about Gloria all of a sudden? I can't act in any other way, can I? The law of honor compels me to protect my family. Gloria will never be a Bronte, but father still took her into our house. I must respect his seniority and will defend Gloria like she is one of our own. You are a Bronte too, noble or not, which means it's your duty to aid me.
The entire ruins of Shar Milonitis' palace span an entire district. The palace was abandoned centuries ago, and its remnants are overgrown with thick underbrush. The ruined palace is empty, nothing but a cold wind blowing over crumbling brickwork. Even the worst scum of the land steer clear of the palace, of this place. You make your way through the ruins until you spot the scattered sheets of paper covered in writing. Your sister's writing. You hear loud laughter coming from behind a dilapidated stone wall nearby. You pull yourself up to peer over it. Gloria is lying on the ground face down, twitching and sobbing. A gaggle of drunk young thugs surround her, cackling and swinging their arms about. You hear their shouts.
Look at the lass sitting here rhyming words together. She thinks she's all noble. Don't you worry, you low-born tart. We're gonna teach you your place.
One of the loud spits at Gloria as she lies there.
Get away from her this instant, you bastards, or I'll spill your guts.
Oh, hello, Zeren. Thank you for the raid. Hello, raiders. Right now, I am doing a somewhat the ASMR-esque stream, playing The Life and Suffering of Sir Bronte. How did the rest of the Yakuza stream go? Read us a story, oh great jellyfish. Read us a story, oh a great jellyfish. I'll do my best.
Get away from her this instant, you bastards, or I'll spill your guts.
Oh yeah, but I'm doing a fuck-ass nerd voice for this guy. Apologies. I'm sure it's very grating. I'm not going to stop doing it because I think it's funny. They respond with mocking laughter. Stephen draws his sword. The stray thugs recoil in fear, but they soon notice that he's the only one armed man against many. They start reaching out for sticks and stones.
Stay by my side. Don't let them flank me.
Stephen's hand shakes, but he looks ready for battle. He's outnumbered. For a moment you hesitate. Perhaps it might be better to run for the nearby district and call for guards. The young thugs are already armed with makeshift weapons. They start approaching you and Stephen cautiously. Charge the attackers. We do not have a relation with Stephen to follow his orders. He fucking hates us. Some dude beat your ass and took all your money after you woke him up, so it went amazing. I see. Glad to hear it. So we can charge the attackers or we can call the guards. I'm worried if I leave to call the guards, something bad is going to happen to Gloria, the sibling who I actually like. If we charge the attackers, I'm sure the only bad thing that happens will happen to us. And hey, we haven't died yet. We still have all 3 of our extra lives. Well, let's go beat them with a rock. What's the worst thing that can happen? The Louts try to flank Stephen and surround him. Your brother's sword thrusts and feints methodically, like in a training bout. The thugs keep dodging and jumping away. They've managed to stay safe so far. If things continue like this, soon one of them will flank Stephen, kick the sword of his hand, and bring him down. The ruffians, however, are paying no attention to you. For a moment, you want nothing more than to run away. You belong to the common lot. You are not allowed to bear arms, not allowed to fight. Then you take one more look at Stephen, who is almost surrounded, and at Gloria sprawled out on the ground. I can't act in any other way, can I? Brother's words ring in your ears. You cannot run. You have to help him no matter what. You pull a heavy rock out of the old wall. The tow-headed leader of the gang appears behind Stephen's back, ready to knock him down. No time to think. It takes you 3 steps to get to the foe. No time to think. You bash the thug in the head with the rock. The wretch stumbles and falls down. Stephen seizes an opportunity to strike and lunges at the louts. They scatter under his blows. You hear screams and the swishing of the sword. You assault them too, swinging away with the heavy rock, until you catch something pointy in the side. A wave of pain washes over you. Blood starts flowing down your side and onto your leg. Stephen shouts something, but your mind is already fading fast. When the darkness disperses, you find yourself lying in your bed. Stephen is in the armchair next to you reading a book. He's alive, with left arm in a sling and black eye, but alive. As for you, it hurts so much when you try to breathe. You cannot help but moan quietly. Stephen looks up from the book.
Don't try to get up. You lost a lot of blood. Fortunately, the Archduke's guards got there too late to see you swinging that boulder around. They'd have shown you no mercy otherwise. But I'm impressed, Lila. You were unarmed, but you still fought them. You acted in defiance of your lot, that much is certain, but you fought for a family's honor. You know, brother, the nobleman's lot is also a great burden that few are able to bear. It takes courage, not to fight everything you see, but to do your duty. Each and every decision a nobleman makes becomes a part of his family's legacy, flowing in the blood tide forever. I think about it often. A noble mustn't act weak. A noble mustn't suffer like the people of the lowborn lot. A noble must rule over them wisely. A noble must ensure that they have work to do. It's not merely your own lot you have to look at. After you have to ensure that 1,000 others can live by their lot as well. And there are so many more matters to take care of. Honor, dignity, tradition. It's tough. But what it takes to be a nobleman, to understand what I'm talking about.
Okay, fine. Maybe Stephen's not that bad. Maybe he's not as much as a dick as he was when he was a kid. I'm still gonna keep doing the nerd voice for him, though. It's too late to stop now. For the first time in a long while, your brother looks at you as an equal.
It was a pleasure to fight side by side. I'm glad you and I are brothers.
Relation +2. For long, the entire city hears how a gang of lowborn thugs assaulted Stephen Bronte. Grandfather ensures that the brash young men are found. Some of them are taken into custody as soon as lesser death releases them. Grandfather seeks vengeance on those who hurt his favorite grandson. Prefect Alborn, a friend of your family, promises to personally oversee the trial and ensure justice is served. Stephen and Grandfather decide to stay in Anazot until the trial ends. Grandfather demands true death for every single assailant. You ask Father to explain something. How can a legal court sentence criminals to true death? How can worldly judgment overrule the twins' law? Your words are true, my son. Their law is second to none. Yet the twin gods also made the empire and all its ways. The court of law exists to execute the laws of heaven here in the world. Should the court of law sentence a person to death, the law high above will always enforce it. And so every execution brings true death. The commoners who assaulted Stephen, a born nobleman, have committed a grave offense. There is no doubt about that. And yet, according to the Emperor's decree, even commoners have the right to defend themselves when they are about to face true death. That means that all of us will have to appear at trial and testify before the court. Evening comes. Gloria visits your room. She looks crestfallen, and her fingers keep reaching for her long hair. You pull away your school books and ask what is bothering her. The trial is tomorrow. I thought I was going to appear there too, as an eyewitness. After all, this whole mess started because of me. But Sir Robert isn't even going to mention I was there. Can you imagine? He says it would ruin the case. Hello, Maddie. Oh, welcome, welcome. Why am I always in the way? Nobody ever mentions me. Nobody has to listen to me. It's like I don't exist. And I thought Stephen standing up for me finally meant something. Maybe I will become part of the family. But no, everything is back to usual now. Gloria tries her best to hold back the tears. You do your best to comfort her. Father just needs to keep the family out of trouble. If Sir Robert believes that I only bring trouble, why did he take me into the house at all? Gloria runs away. You return to your books, but you can't help but get lost in thought. What if they told the court you weren't there either? How would you feel then? There's a knock at the door. It is Father. He closes the door behind him and sits next to you. There's an exhausted look about him. Been a while, unfortunately can't stay long, got stuff to do. Understandable. Sometimes you do have to do stuff. Thanks for stopping by though. Enjoy the lurk. Son, tomorrow you will be testifying before the court tomorrow. I said tomorrow twice. Please remember what I'm about to tell you. Gloria wasn't at the ruins at all. You went there with your brother to inspect this historic site. The lowborn men insulted Stephen first and then attacked him. Stephen had managed to deal with the assailants on his own by the time the guards intervened. Gloria will cast suspicion on the case. If we mention her very existence to the court, the reputation of the family will suffer. Your grandfather will never forgive me if that happens. Do not let me down. We are all counting on you. You recall the night of the fight like it was a moment ago. Gloria sprawled under the feet of those cackling thugs. Her poetry, her greatest treasure, scattered on the ground. She thinks she's all noble. Those were the words they spat down at her. But doesn't grandfather mean the same thing when he denies that she's part of the family? But if you do what father tells you, the trial will end quickly. Those commoners will face true death for assaulting a noble. If you mention Gloria, things will get complicated, and you can't predict how the trial will end. Which is more important to you, what is right or what is just? We can support father, we can lie to father. We do not have a good enough relationship with our father to convince him to change his mind. Well, I'm sorry, Dad. Gloria is kind of my ride or die. I'll lie to father. You nod in agreement. You will follow the family's plan for the trial to the letter. A faint smile appears on father's fatigued face. Thank you, son. This is an important case for our family, and for me as well. I appreciate your support. Oh, I feel bad. You watch father leave your room, and you consider your options. When should you mention Gloria during your testimony? There's no way you'll pretend she was not there. That would not be fair in the slightest. The day comes. The trial takes place in the lesser hall of the city prefecture. Sir Elborn himself presides as the judge. You're seated next to Father and Stephen. You were to testify to the court one after another. Your brother's testimony follows Father's plan to the letter. The young commoners insulted you as you were both walking by the ruins. Then they assaulted you. Stephen defended you. You were next to speak. Tell the court the truth about that night. How the thugs humiliated Gloria. How Stephen and you came to help her. And how Stephen defended his half-sister. There are confused whispers in the hall. The commoners on trial cry out. It's the truth. Gloria was reciting poetry and they simply told her that she was defying her lot. The situation has changed. By this account, Stephen was not acting in defense of himself or another. He merely assaulted them first in order to retaliate against those who had insulted his half-sister. Grandfather's face turns red, yet he remains silent. All emotion disappears from Father's face. Your brother turns to look at you, disappointed. Sir Elborn rises to deliver the sentence. There's bitter regret in his voice as he speaks. With this new evidence in mind, the court of Anazot finds you not guilty of assaulting Stephen Bronte, a nobleman. However, you are found guilty of disgraceful conduct and injury to a noble. All 4 defendants are sentenced to 20 lashes each. The carriage is silent as your family drives home. Father asks you to go to the sitting room. You need to talk alone. The tone of his voice does not bode well for you. The sitting room door slams shut behind him. You have absolutely no idea what you've done. Why did you have to be so foolish and stubborn? Why? Explain to me. Father is furious. You try to explain yourself. You only wanted him to treat your sister fairly. Father's face turns red, just like grandfather's did. Treated fairly, he says. His sister, he says. Get out of my sight this instant. Both of you. You are in for a world of punishment, young man. You and your sister. You are nothing but a disappointment to me. Be gone. Next, Father gives his orders. You and Gloria are flogged together, brutally enough to ensure you learn your lesson. Once this ordeal ends, your sister thanks you through tears. At least you tried to stand up for her. Your back will not hurt less for that, but at least you feel better now. When Gloria comes back home the day after, there's a fresh bruise on her cheek. Her dress is covered in dust, and her hair is disheveled. You ask her about it, but she does her best to pretend nothing is wrong. When you ask about the bruise, she says she just fell. You meet those 4 commoners on the street a few days later. They thank you mockingly and tease you mercilessly. Sir Lila Bronte, they call you sarcastically. You walk away as fast as you can. They laugh behind your back. Whatever happens now, Stephen will not protect you or Gloria anymore. -2 relation with Father, +1 relation with Gloria, the -1 with Grandpa. Really? No relation down with brother? He's not pissed about that? Not what I expected. A little sad that the Father hates me. The fuck Grandpa though. He can go to hell. Ingenuity +1. Year 1132. 14 years old. I'm gonna take a sip of tea. 1 moment, please. Look at me, actually finishing my tea. Now, granted, it's been like 3 hours and the tea is cold, but I did finish it. Stephen leaves soon after the trial, alone. Grandfather does not go with him. For the first time in a long while, he lingers in the house for more than a fortnight. Father says Sir Gregor is ill and needs rest. Several months go by, and it becomes clear that Grandfather will not recover. The eldest Bronte is mostly bedridden now. On some days, he has trouble recognizing people. When he means to address you or Nathan, he calls you Robert, your father's name. When he does get out of bed, the house grows empty. The servants hide. Mother locks herself in her chambers. You and Nathan run outside or hide quickly in your rooms. If Grandfather sees anyone in the hallway, he begins lamenting. Oh, nobody heeds the lots any longer. Any harlot with a child can marry a nobleman these days. Children have no respect. His son betrayed him and let him down. And oh, how the Bronte family has lost its honor. Again and again, you hear Grandfather knocking at Mother's door, screaming that it's all her fault. He blames her for ruining his chances to find bliss in the hereafter. He blames her for dooming him to suffer at the foot of the pillar. You overhear your parents talking one night. Mother begs Father to move Sir Gregor to his old home and spare the children his decline. Father refuses her outright. It is late at night. The hot, dry winds are coming. The house is empty, save for you, Nathan, Gloria, Mother. and grandfather in his bed. Father is left for the capital on business. You are engrossed in the history of the Empire, snapping out of your reverie only when the clock strikes midnight. You blow out the candle and get ready for bed. You hear the shuffling of heavy feet outside your door. You see light in the hallway. Grandfather? Oh, what could he want in the middle of the night? You peek into the hallway once he's passed. Grandfather's figure sways as he heads for the door to Mother's chambers. He opens the door and walks in. You hear him saying something quietly. Your unease is stronger than your fear now. You sneak closer to hear his words.
You foul commoner. I have to cleanse my sins. I have to save my soul. You are my greatest sin. You and what you've done to Robert and this family. You should have put a stop to this marriage. I should have stopped Robert from tainting this house with your presence. Why didn't I do it?
Please, Sir Bronte, I beg of you.
Silence. You will do my bidding. Fire will cleanse all low-born filth from this place. Fire, and flame will free Robert from this disgrace. This is for my son's sake, for my son's sake, for my sake. I need to eradicate this low-born filth. The twins, they're calling for me now. I can feel it. I can feel it.
I beg of you, please have mercy. Mother begins to cry. You run into the room, unable to stay out of this any longer. Father's gaunt figure looms over Mother's bed, a lit oil lamp in his hand. Mother is sprawled out on the bed, crying. Please just let me warn the children. I beg of you, Sir Bronte. Your steps are loud enough to be heard. Grandfather turns to look at you.
Stay out of this longer. Be useful for once. Worldly matters concern me no longer. I see only my sins now, and a sinner I am. A sinner. The twins, they forgive no one. They will judge me by the pillar. I must do something. I don't want to suffer for all eternity. Go away.
Mother's crying. Grandfather is still looming over the bed, driven to madness. His hands shake as it clutches the oil lamp. His eyes shine in the dark. He truly believes this has to be done. You are suddenly torn. What if he is right? What if this is his only way for his soul to find salvation? There is no going back now. You have but a moment to act. We can run away to rescue Nathan and Gloria. We can spend a willpower and have a negative relationship with our grandfather to stop him. Or we can let it all happen as he wishes. Man, fuck this guy. Stop him. You look at grandfather defiantly and step towards him. He stares you down with rage and throws the oil lamp on the floor. You manage to catch it, but just barely. Several drops of hot oil hit the rug, not nearly enough to start a fire. The lamp's glass is blistering hot. It burns your hands, but you hold onto it safely.
You low-born scum. You ruined everything. You're every bit like your mother. You.
Enraged, he takes a swing, and you squeeze your eyes shut. But he does not hit you. Instead, there's a deep exhalation. You peek at him with one eye, just in time to see him collapse, all his strength fading away. His chest is heaving, his face a grimace of contempt. Another heavy exhalation. The contempt is gone. There is only fear now. Grandfather's eyes open wide, almost in surprise. He exhales. His eyes grow dim. Mother's there, whispering a prayer. She's shaking violently. You put the oil lamp gently on the bedside table and call for the servants. They carry the body away. It does not disappear. True death has found him. He will never return. You spend the rest of the night with Mother in the sitting room. She will not let go of your hand. For many, many nights afterwards, she keeps seeing grandfather's shadow out of the corner of her eye. Father returns from Eterna the morning after. He is unusually composed as he arranges for the funeral. The house becomes quiet. Not the looming, heavy sort of quiet of the past few months, but the calm relief you all feel now that the crazed old man is no more. At last, Gregor Bronte, the family's patriarch, has departed for the hereafter. Thank you for the hydrate reminder, Seren. Let me take a sip of water. One moment. Okay, water sipped. Gregor Bronte, relation -1. Damn, really? That's crazy. Protect thy voice. Thank you. Thank you. I think I mentioned it earlier, but I've been meaning to try throat coat tea. It's supposed to be good for your voice. I know that like a lot of singers use it, and I think it could be good for streaming as well, just to like keep my voice from becoming too hoarse. +1 nobility and +1 ingenuity. Only -5 willpower. That's worth. Grandfather's demise. 1132. Her grandfather, Sir Gregor Bronte, left this world forever to meet the twin gods. You've heard similar praises? Yeah. I mean, normally that's not the type of thing I'd expect to be effective, but I've heard like literally only good things about it, so I think I will try it. Whenever I stop being lazy and actually get some. The night of grandfather's death shook your family to the core. Yet, no matter how it happened, your grandfather, Gregor Bronte, is dead and will never return. He was a fearful shadow looming over the rest of the family. Bronte patriarch exerting his influence on all the lives below him, and you will remember him forever. Father is the new patriarch of the family now, yet he still cannot bring himself to sit at the head of the table where Sir Gregor used to preside. Stephen locks himself away in grandfather's bedroom every day. He will not talk to anyone. Gloria and Nathan still jump at every sound that so much resembles the knocking of his walking stick. Mother spends all day in prayer at the temple. And yet the house has become calm and quiet with his passing. But there is one more thing that must be done. The final farewell. It weighs heavily upon your soul. The day comes to pay your final respects. Father goes to the tomb alone, save for Stephen, Nathan, and you. Mother and Gloria stay at home. Only nobles or those who may become nobles may join this ritual. There's a solemn silence as you walk to the crypt. Father's the one who breaks the silence when you finally reach the door of the family crypt. Your grandfather built this crypt, and now he will be the first Bronte to remain here in body forever. The first ever noble in our family. It is now our duty to hold to the sacrament of flowing blood for Sir Gregor. We will honor his legacy and join him as the founder of the noble Bronte dynasty. Stephen perks up at Father's words. His hands still clutch at grandfather's sword. Tradition decrees that it must remain in the niche above the owner's sarcophagus. Nathan, on the other hand, looks even more frightened now. Stairs carved of white stone lead you downwards. Deep in the gloom of the crypt, atop a pedestal, you see the sarcophagus that holds grandfather's body. Father takes a moment to compose himself before paying his final respects. Gregor Bronte, my father, brought our family into nobility through his unshakable will. He was a judge and a loyal servant to the empire. He lived his life as if he had been born a noble, and he never strayed from the path he had chosen. He sought to make the Bronte family ennobled by the sword so that our children's children might be of noble birth. The twins know I abided my father's words all my life, even if I could not obey him every time. Father lets out a bit of a chuckle as he says this. Stephen glares at Father, then turns to glare at Nathan and you. After all, the two of you were born of Father's shameful decision to marry a commoner. All of you remember his disastrous passing. He did not die the true death he deserved. Yet we all must know that he fought for the future he believed in to the very end, and he would be proud to see his family bid him farewell with this sacrament of the nobility. Stephen still glares at Father sullenly. His finger remains clutched around a grandfather's sword. Nathan barely pays attention to the words. He looks around with unease, his arms folded across his chest. Father reaches into his jacket, pulls out a slender dagger, thin and sharp. He takes off his gloves. Watch me carefully, my sons. Make a small cut on the palm of your hand, and let your blood flow into this duct on the wall of the crypt. It will join your grandfather's blood here and flow forever. Then ancestor and progeny will become as one. We shall enter our family's blood tide and receive grandfather's final blessing, for his blood flows first in our blood tide. He will respond to you. You are part of him, and he is part of you. With a quick motion, Father slices his hand and holds the bleeding cut above the small opening in the wall. Then he hands the dagger to Stephen. Stephen cuts his hand without hesitation and does as Father did. You receive the dagger next. The dagger's handle feels warm. You hesitate for a moment as you look at the palm of your hand. If you participate in this ritual, you will enter the Bronte blood tide. You, a low-born child, a child who is still a commoner. Are you ready to claim your legacy as a descendant of the nobleman Gregor Bronte? The eyes of your father and brothers are upon you. Nathan, the youngest brother, will follow your example. You can be certain of this. We can give the dagger back and refuse. We can do as demanded and bleed. Or we cannot ask for the grandfather's blessing, that we do not have nearly enough nobility, and also the grandfather hated our guts. That being said, fuck this guy. I do not want to be bonded with him in spirit for the rest of my life. Hell no. You return the dagger to Father and say you cannot participate in the ritual. You are a commoner, and your back bears the mark of the lash. Grandfather would never have let you honor his name as a nobleman. Nathan nods in agreement. You do not deserve this honor. Not what I meant by that, but I guess that works. It's a better excuse. Father furrows his brow and shakes his head. Stephen, help me close the lid of the sarcophagus, and remember to ask Grandfather for his blessing. And as for the two of you, it seems you weren't ready to walk the nobleman's path after all. You're right, son. Your grandfather would never have allowed it. Well, I mean, I didn't think about that way. Maybe I should have done it despite him. Now I kind of regret it. I did not think about the spite angle. I was just so locked in on not wanting to do the thing that I thought I was supposed to do to honor him. Regardless, we press onwards. The lid of the sarcophagus falls into place with a heavy, resonant thud. Then, suddenly, you all freeze as each of you hears your late grandfather speak to you. His voice is loud as it rings in the depths of the crypt, and yet he speaks to each of you separately.
Outright weakling. I knew you never had it in you to rise above your meager birth, Lila. You have not a drop of nobility in you, and your pathetic little brother is the shame. You are a taint upon my flesh and blood. Begone from my crypt.
Your legs carry out of the crypt of their own accord. Out of that stuffy crypt. You can finally breathe again. You hear slow footsteps behind you. You turn around and meet Nathan's gaze. You did the right thing. If it weren't for you, I'd have done what Father told us. Grandfather said I should stay away from his legacy. Said it'll do me no good if I try to follow in his footsteps. How's that for words of guidance? Nathan sighs as he embraces you. No, Nathan, I didn't want to lower your self-esteem. I just wanted to stick it to her grandfather. No, Nathan, no. Nathan, you're already sad enough. I'm so sorry. Father and Stephen leave the crypt much later and walk to the carriage without a word. You and Nathan humbly follow behind them. -1 relation with Father, +1 relation with Nathan, +5 willpower. The Fugitive Girl. Grandfather's passing and last respects have left a mark on the entire family. His words relayed from the hereafter keep echoing in your mind. You still do your best to avoid the memory of Grandfather's last night and spend more time on the city streets with Tomas and your other classmates. The road by the house reminds you of another clash with death. Sometimes, as you walk along that road, you recall Sophia, the beautiful girl with the wondrous eyes and the terrifying, thundering hooves. You've not seen Sophia since that fateful day. The children who live nearby say her parents sent her to a rich Arcanian family, Fa'atans, as a servant. The sun is set. The pillar shines palely in the dark sky. Tomas is ill, so you decide to visit him and tell him the latest news. The streets seem oddly agitated tonight, full of horses, cloaked men, strange faces, and hushed voices. A young nobleman in a heavy embroidered cloak is walking back and forth, clutching at his sword nervously. There's a grimace of rage on his delicate blue face. He is an Arcanian. You overhear voices. Sir Auden, the girl's not at home. We searched the house. Her parents swear she ran away from home, too. They claim they wanted to bring her back. Just do whatever it takes. Turn this loathsome district upside down if you must, but bring my servant back to me. She's here. Sophia ran away from an Arcanian? How can this be? There's only one place on Earth, only one place in the entire street where a person can hide. The abandoned Morel house, 4 houses away from yours. You head there, doing your best not to attract attention. The lopsided house built of yellow brick has been abandoned for 20 years or so. You remember playing there as a boy. You glimpse a figure inside before you enter. A pair of eyes glimmer in the dark. You would recognize them even after another 4 years. Sophia has grown up. She's almost an adult now, and her face is full of fear. She's not the easygoing girl next door that you remember. She finally recognizes you. Oh, it's you, Lila. Be quiet. They're all looking for me. I ran away from the youngest Auden. I might be in for a lesser death here, but I'd rather die than spend another day in their slavery. I'm just a thing to him, just a toy to play with. Sophia winces and closes her mouth as she says this. There's a glint of bright yellow deep in her eyes. I ran to my parents. I told them all about the men I had to serve, and they went and alerted the Audens. They don't want to be the target of their ire. But you aren't going to tip them off, are you? The barking and shouting are getting closer. Sophia's voice grows quiet. She runs off to the darkest corner of the house before you can answer. One of Auden's servants is so close that you can hear his cloak swishing against the ground. He notices something and calls for the others. There are more voices around you now. They approach the house from the yard and surround it. One of them seems particularly snappy, annoyed, and impatient. You've already heard this voice today. If you're in there, girl, you'd be wise to come out and quit wasting my time. All will be forgiven, and you will go back where you were. You know it. And if you don't, I'll drag you out by the hair. The hilt of the young Arcadian sword bashes at the door. He's about to lose his patience for good. Sophia hugs the wall in the dark, trying to stay still. She glances at you. What will you do? Your heart is racing. Can you act against the Arcadian's orders? Do you have the gall to defy the mighty nobleman? We do not have a good enough relationship with Sophia to try to stop him. We could bring her to him. I'm not doing that, though. But fuck that. No, we do not have the ingenuity to help her flee, god damn it. I guess our only real option is to hide alone. We're kind of a little bitch. Unfortunate. You swiftly turn away from Sophia's desperate gaze and flee to cower in a dark corner. A pained sigh reaches your ears. I knew it. You do not respond. You need to hide. The front door slams open. Heavy footsteps echo from the entrance. The irate Arcadian strides right past your hiding place, paying you no heed whatsoever. Where are you hiding, you little tramp? There's no hiding from me. A shadowy figure streaks past you. Sophia? A high-pitched, furious scream slices through the silence. A blinding golden flash explodes in front of you. A sudden cascade of sparks burning through the darkness. As you blink, stunned, Ahaden's tall figure freezes and suddenly collapses. The golden sparks are still dancing before your eyes. A sudden pain seems to rupture your skull from the inside. Through the light and pain, you can barely catch a glimpse of Sophia as she dashes past the prone Arcadian and runs out the door. It takes Ahaden a few long moments to regain his senses. He gets up with a curse and runs after Sophia. So she's a witch too? Get her, now! You hear men running, shouting, and barking orders on the other side of the wall. You lie there on a pile of old bricks, rubbing your eyes. The strange stupor slowly leaves you. You get to your feet and walk unsteadily out of the abandoned house. The danger has passed. You walk back home, lost in thought. So Sophia's a witch? You recall how her magic bound Ahaden by the arm and legs, how he lost all control of his body. The runaway servant girl becomes the talk of the district for an entire week. You hear that Sophia has managed to flee the city. The Ahadens are furious. Sophia vanished from your life just as suddenly as she came. You will not see her again for quite some time. Relation -1. Status embittered. +5 willpower. Year 1133. 15 years old. You are about to turn 15, just one step away from adulthood. Mother is acting anxious at dinner today, barely touching her food. You exchange glances with Gloria. She carefully tells you that she wants to go to the tailor. Mother shudders and her hand clenches into fists. No, don't you dare leave home today. I forbid it. That dirty heretic Fotis is preaching his lies under the silver tree today. Twins willing, I don't want you to hear any of that. You and Gloria glance at each other again. Fotis. He is a patriarch, the head of the clergy throughout the entire province. That's the first time you've heard Mother speak like this about a priest, especially such a high-ranking one. Once you leave the dinner table, Gloria comes to your room with a cunning expression on her face. Like she's about to play a trick on someone. Hello, Crunch AP, welcome. I'm entertaining your chat while you go get food. Alright, I'll do my best. What kind of food are you getting? Unless you're already gone. In which case I'll ask again when you get back. She has a plan. The two of you should sneak out of the house and go to the silver tree. You simply must hear that sermon for yourself. What's so bad about Patriarch Fotis? Why does Mother hate him so much? You two are grown-ups now. Surely you have the right to know. You agree with your sister. Together, you sneak out from under your mother's watchful eye and hurry to the silver tree. The temple block is full of people from all ranks in the state. There's barely enough room for you to squeeze through the crowd. The crowd is gathered around the very roots of the tree. Gloria suggests that you climb up to the roof of a nearby building so you can see everything better. And not a moment too soon. From the roof, you see a tall, silver-haired priest step onto the platform by the tree, dressed in a common black robe that looks far beneath his rank. Yet he stands like a noble before the crowd. Behind his back is a banner flapping in the wind, the open book. This is the symbol of the new faith, the crowd whispers. The patriarch holds his hands up to the sky, and the entire temple block grows quiet. He begins his sermon, his vibrant voice rolling across the square. Buddha speaks of a great mistake. We entrusted ourselves to the lots as the only way to fulfill divine providence in this world. But for all these years, the will of the twins has been interpreted for us by a single man, Prophet Asadius. The twins are ever watching from the top of the shining pillar. Of this we have no doubt. But how can we so blindly believe that we truly follow their will by following the lots? Have we not seen the 3 lots of Asadius fail again and again to answer the question of how we ought to live our lives? Have we not seen people change their lot in life again and again without being smitten by divine wrath? Every person born, whether human or Archnean, lowborn or noble, must find their lot and their way to the gods on their own. From now on, we will seek the gods in the accounts of their own lives, and their own acts in this world, and in their own words as they echo within us. And as we heed the voice of the twins within, we will find their path for us on our own. The crowd at the silver tree listens to the patriarch's speech in stunned silence. You glance at your sister. Her eyes glisten with tears as she hears Fotis' words. Then, suddenly, a hoarse cry rises from the crowd. If there are no lots, does that mean the nobles are going to till the fields and the commoners are going to bear arms? The crowd begins to murmur. The patriarch raises an arm and inhales, ready to answer. An odd figure leaps from the crowd onto the platform, a dirty beggar dressed in rags. A knife flashes in his hand. The blade slices. Blood starts spurting from Fotis' throat. He slumps over and collapses. A dark brown puddle spreads across the platform where he had stood. Gloria clutches her mouth to suppress a shriek. A few moments of stunned silence, and then the screams begin. The people are frantic. The temple guards try to restore order in the crowd, but to no avail. An old woman dressed in an inquisitor's cassock tries in vain to apply pressure to the patriarch's wound. The nobles draw their swords. Dogs are barking. The crowd is pushing and shoving. Children are crying. The entire square by the tree is in chaos. From the roof, you see the moment when people start trampling each other, howling, praying, shouting. Gloria tugs on your sleeve. Time to go. You climb down from the roof and run. You return home without exchanging a word. Mother has been in her room all the while, so no one noticed your absence. Gloria locks herself in her room. You do not discuss the things you have just seen. They are too frightening. But your parents discuss every little detail of the blood-stained sermon over dinner. This is unbelievable. A patriarch murdered in plain sight. The gendarmes and the Archduke's guard searched every corner of the slums, and the murderous beggar has disappeared without a trace. I can't even imagine a more gruesome crime. Fotis had died a true death, never to return from the hereafter. But how? Why can't the patriarch be reborn? He is so close to the twins. Such is the way of the world, my children. Once you are granted great power by the twins' will, there's no hope for you to come back, not even after the first of your deaths. Emperors, powerful vassals, heads of great Archaean dynasties, patriarchs of the church, none of them are destined to be reborn. God hates rich people. You heard it here first, folks. Fotis is gone forever. I fear for his soul. It was lost in doubt. Will the twins accept him upon the peak of the pillar? We must pray for the patriarch children. Let us hope he managed to return to the old faith before the moment of his passing. But there is little hope for that. +1 church, -1 order. The Church of the Old Faith. Gotta say, I am a fan of the Old Faith personally. Tomorrow, you turn 16. According to imperial law, you'll be a full adult. Your time at Sir Tibor's school has ended. You've studied enough to apply for the Imperial College and learn the judge's trade there. You are to travel to Eterna tomorrow. Your friend Tomas will go there with you to try his luck in the Imperial capital. Mother and father prepare you for the long journey. Remember, son, there is only one goal for you. You must become a student at the Imperial College. Your teachers dragged you through all those books for a reason. You have the knowledge and fervor to be ennobled by the mantle as I was, and as my late father was before me. And who knows, maybe one day you will be the one to write the name Bronte in the Blue Book and ensure that your children's children will be noble by birth. Then, Mother speaks to you carefully. There's a worry in her eyes. But Rebert, there may be another path for our son. Stephen, your firstborn, was born a noble. He will surely earn the title for the entire Bronte family. Your second son bears the favor of the twins. For him, the path of the priest is a worthy calling, no less than a nobleman's sword. They've been arguing about your future for a while now. Still, she would never defy the will of a nobleman and her husband. You smile at them both, trying to placate them. Gloria laughs quietly behind their backs. Just don't become a snoot like Stephen and you'll do just fine. Mother chides Gloria for that. You wink at your sister. Nathan has been downcast all evening. He barely touched his dinner. When everyone gets up from the table, he suddenly rushes over to embrace you. Please don't go, Lila. Can't you stay? I don't know what I'm going to do without you. You tussle his hair in response. There's no way you can stay now, you say. But when you come home, and you will come home, you'll tell him all your stories and bring him a special present from Eterna. This is it. All your lessons have been learned. All your things have been packed for the road. You will leave the family home tomorrow. Tonight is your last night at home before your departure. You walk through the rooms one last time. The sitting room, where Mother used to read your fairy tales. The library, where Gloria used to spend all her time. Father's study, which you entered only on special occasions. Backyard, where you taught Nathan to build towers one summer. The whole place feels so familiar, so dear to you. It feels like home. You've lived here for 16 years. Will you ever return? It is getting late. Everyone is already in their rooms. But you hesitate. Father, Mother, Gloria, Nathan. It will be a long time before you see them again. Who will you spend your last few hours at home with? Well, our dad hates us, so not him. It's between Mother, Gloria, and Nathan. And I think I like Gloria the most. Indeed, your sister is still awake. She jumps out of her armchair happily the moment she sees you. I'm so happy you're actually here, brother. You know, before you leave, I actually have something to tell you. Gloria takes your hand and leads you to the library. You light a lamp. Gloria pulls out a hefty volume from one of the shelves. Look, this is a history of the noble houses. It's got the story of how humans were first ennobled. I read all of it, and guess what? It didn't happen until after the expansion of the Empire. Apparently, there weren't enough Arcadians for all the land. They just couldn't rule it all by themselves. Arcadians have always treated humans like cattle, but human nobles are even worse. They're like their paltry copies now, pairing noble titles, wearing gem-studded jackets, bossing others around and poisoning their lives. They make me sick. Everybody says nobles were born to rule, but if you ask me, I say they're nobodies. There's nothing noble about demeaning off others and living off their hard work. So true! Kill all landlords! Gloria is unusually agitated. You knew she was not exactly fond of nobles, but this is the first time you've heard such burning scorn in her voice. But then Gloria stops herself suddenly and calms down. I just wanted to tell you that, brother. You don't actually have to become a noble. If you're a noble, you'll have to follow the rules, like Stephen does. You're not like him, I know it. Don't listen to Mother, and definitely don't listen to your father. They just want you to blindly follow them. It's true, Sir Bronte spent plenty of money on effort and on your education, but it's a noble title and a judge's rank were his dream for you, not yours. It's time to think for yourself. Her words spark a dispute. You keep debating into the small hours. Soon, you both start reaching into history and politics and morals for material, pulling out library books one by one to prove your points. Turns out Gloria is an excellent debater. All the days and nights she spent in the library have honed her mind and rhetorical skills. The sun is about to rise. You should rest before the long trip, but you're not tired at all. But before you return to your rooms, Gloria locks you in a heartfelt hug. Lila, please promise me you'll find your own way out there. You nod to her and hug her back, and then she's off. You get into bed, but you cannot sleep. Gloria's words keep you all night. +1 relation with Gloria, +2 ingenuity. Cool. 11:33, departure from home. You leave the family home for a long time. Your future awaits you in Eterna, the capital of the Empire. And that is the end of Adolescence. Last night was your final night at home. The carriage is now waiting at the gate, ready to take you to the capital. The clip-clopping of the idle hooves against cobblestone count the seconds to your departure. You take one more look at your parents' house and recall your childhood spent there, in the nearby yards, at your school, and on the winding streets of Anazot. You clash with the greater world around you and survived. You felt a tingle of emotion for the first time. You were taught by the school and the streets. You explored the city of your birth and learned something of its past. You witnessed first-hand events that will be remembered by history for all time. All of this is yours now, forever. You saw death, lesser death followed by rebirth, and the true death that takes and never gives back. You saw death lying in wait to strike the unaware, like a beast stalking its prey. You saw grandfather's angry grimace lit by the flickering fire of the lamp, the Archduke's cavalry trampling those who stood in their way, and your older brother's bloodied sword slicing through the air. Death has followed you from a very young age. And yet you live on. You have a friend who has been by your side all these years. Tomas taught you many things. How to take a hit, how to keep your word, and how to remain true to your own self. And now Tomas is walking to the same carriage as you are, with a heavy bag slung over his shoulder. Your friend will remain your companion for the time being. Ahead of you is a long trip towards the capital and adulthood. For the first time, you will be away from your family and home. What awaits you in the future? Well, we're gonna have to wait until next stream to see, because my voice is dying and it's getting late. Let's go over to the chatting screen for just a little bit. We've already done a lot of yapping this stream after all. Yeah, this was fun. I don't know if you all enjoyed the stream, but I know I certainly did. I talked about it before, but I do really enjoy the voice acting and voiceovers I've discovered through streaming. I think maybe I'd like to try, I don't know, maybe voiceovers for some memes or something. Maybe record some ASMR. I think it could be fun. Will people be interested? Who knows? But I mean, does it really matter? I don't think so. I could do it for no viewers. I just do this because it makes me happy. But yeah, that's all I got for tonight. Let's see, is there anyone live to read into? Yes. Let's see. Looks like Crunch JP is still playing Cairn. He's playing it earlier. It's like a rock climbing game. Go see how that's going. I have a very calming voice, so I'm sure plenty would. Thank you, thank you. You're too kind. But yeah, that's all I got for tonight. Thank you all for stopping by. If any of you were here for the chill ASMR and maybe, I don't know, are going to bed or something, you should maybe click off before the raid, honestly. He's not a very relaxing presence, to be completely honest. But yeah, that's all I got. Good night, and until next time.